Scene, and we're live.
Technically, he counted it down twice.
Check the audio.
In order, so it worked out well. Hello!
It works. And the Yeti's good.
Greetings. Welcome, everyone, to another episode of the Couch Cooperative. We are glad to be back. We had a roughly 2-week hiatus because the man, the myth, the legend known as Katray was sick week 1 that we were absent. I was on my vacation that we had expressed for the week of the 4th of July for the American holiday of Independence Day, which was putting us out for the past weeks. We're very happy to be back. We hope you guys are going to enjoy the rest of our adventure through the Storm King's Thunder 5th Edition campaign. We do not have any announcements to give, so without further ado, we can begin.
Embark.
Last we left off. Normally we do a recap before every session begins, but this time we are going to kind of put ourselves in the midst of that recap. Polstra.
Give them to me.
The events that are happening as I'm describing them are a bit of a blur. Things are happening very fast, rapidly, and with no capacity to be intervened by you. The large blue-scaled dragon, Imrith, has begun clawing her way into the temple, the Eye of the All-Father, this holy site given in glory to the god Anam, the All-Father of the Giants, to home his oracle. You went there seeking knowledge, what to do next. You got your answers, vague and cryptic, to seek out the Countess Sansuri and the Cloud Giants, but you must find her. In hopes of finding her to retrieve the conscience that she holds, you are to search for something held within the confines of a flint rock or a white sand. The vagueness of it is confusing enough. You've never been one for puzzles. You've never been one for riddles. You've, for the most part, have left that up to Misery and Nephis. They tend to think things through in terms of your mercenary group with the Peacekeepers, and your job has always been to hit stuff. The issue that we face ourselves with presently, that Poltra finds himself in, is that this dragon's too big for you to fight. You can see it. It's evident. You don't need to be told. No one needs to tell you. This dragon is massive, larger than anything that you've ever seen or anything that you've ever heard of. You see out of the corner of your eye the sound of, the sound of the stonework breaking free of the ceiling and falling to the ground, of the mountain itself seemingly shaking violently, causes this high-pitched ring in your ears that begins to deafen out a lot of the sounds that are happening within this temple. You see Hakon Guns, the hero of Waterdeep, walk right over to Varys, your leader, grabs him with a sword in hand by the collar of his cloak, of his robe, and begins shouting at him. You can't hear out what it is. There's a stern look on his face. You've seen that look before. It's not a look as a paladin that would have been lost on you, and as a warrior specifically. It's the look of someone who is prepared to sacrifice themselves so that others could live. It is the look of, my life no longer has meaning as long as it can secure this one victory. It is an acceptance of fate. You've seen that look. What that means for the message that he's shouting at your leader is confusing. And he forcefully pushes Varys off, who seems stunned, caught by the words that were thrown in his direction. You see,
what did he say?
Nephis and Misery are rushing out of the temple to the massive stone doors, making their way out, while Harshnag is fighting this dragon with both axes in hand, trying to hold this massive beast off, but he's failing. He can't hold it off for much longer. You can see that. Hakon turns to assist. His sword, his massive great sword, as the dragon lunges towards Harshnag with both of its the ends of its jaws wide open, ready to snatch him around the waist. You see Hakon get flung forward with these golden wings that push in a direction to use this now formed shield that his sword has split into with a long sword in hand. Takes this massive golden and gilded shield and slams into like a football tackle the snout of Imarith, pushing the head off its course. The jaws are not able to sink purchase into Harshnag's body. There's still a ringing sound, a high-pitched screech as you see the dragon roar visibly in anger. The lightning surging across Imarith's jaws, across the nostrils, throughout the insides of the teeth. Another burst of lightning. You imagine that should have produced sound. It's still deafened. Scourges across parts of the temple room. You see breaking some of the statues and clean in half as the pure rage and this energy kind of just scythes through it like a knife to butter. At this point, the stonework has given way. The temple's coming down. You are pulled from behind, in which, Varys, I need you to go ahead and make a strength check for me. Athletics, if you will.
Oh shit, 19.
19. You are able to pull Poltra, who is seemingly at the doorway, at the threshold of the door, standing still. Kind of caught, stunned in a way of what he's witnessing. As your hearing comes back to you, Varys, what do you do to rally him back to his senses? Like, you gotta get him moving or he's gonna die.
I go,
Poltra! It's time to go!
I'm gonna go. Where's the fight?
We can't fight that thing.
I can fight it.
Get those hooves out of the goddamn dirt and let's go.
I'll get up and I'll follow him.
As you guys run down the stairwell,
I'll turn and look one more time.
you do. You all turn back towards these giant stone doors and see the last bit of stonework cave in. A puff of smoke flies fast in your direction, caking you in a thin layer of dust and grit.
Are we still running at the
There's
same
a brief flash of light. And then silence.
So are we outside
Complete
right now?
silence.
You guys are, there was kind of a walkway that was technically outside, but it was past those stone columns. So it's a mixture of inside, not inside.
I'm gonna kind of put my hand on Poltra's shoulder and say, "He killed a god. He's fine. We need to move on."
I want to look at the pile of caved-in stone. And I'm going to say,
And we couldn't even kill a dragon.
and I'll get up.
Was no ordinary dragon.
Stomping around and I'm moving like...
Did you get hit in the nuts again?
I thought I was high voice.
No, you were.
Did I forget over 2 weeks? Never mind, I said all
Yeah.
of that with the people.
Yeah, Hakon kicked or like punched your
I
nuts
thought
again.
I got punched. I thought he punched me.
It was
He
like
did.
reverse.
He
But I think
did,
someone
and then
reversed
Hakon
it.
fixed it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Because you were upset with me that
Yeah.
I kicked your nuts back.
Yeah, so you're
to
deep
high.
voice now.
Okay. Alright.
I wish. What? Can you guys could have just let him have the high pitched voice? Come on, nah.
I'm sorry.
No.
That's funny.
That's like Peter Griffin, Family Guy. Like, Doc plays a baseball. You guys begin walking outside. You guys do have to move. There's
I
a,
was just thinking, like, is there only one way to go, or?
well, yeah, it's kind of going back into the Kadrun Valley. So you head out towards to brave the cold. The snow
I'm not cold.
that covers that long natural stone bridge that you had crossed once before to get into this temple. You exit out into the snow, the wind billowing, causing clothes and hair to fly in the wind. But you notice that you are not the only ones out here.
Oh, hey.
Your fear initially placed in
I know.
the potential presence of a dragon. You are not gifted with that pleasantry, but something a bit off from that. There is a floating in the sky, a floating wooden ship held by a large red balloon that is shaped to be a dragon.
Guys. When I was I remember something about something in the white sand. We're in a bunch of white sand. We need to get that.
There is a
Can I run towards it?
rope. There's a rope and wooden bridge that is being thrown off the side as you say that.
Oh,
The airship is beginning to get lowered to enough height that the ladder kind of reaches to a point where you could grab onto it.
Does it look directed towards us? The
Very
ladder?
much so. And there is a masked figure with a black leather mask that kind of spirals out into 5 different points. Who looks over with black leather gloves, so you can't really see features, and shouts, "Hey! Grab the ladder! We gotta go! That dragon's coming out any minute now!
I'm booking it.
Hurry up or you're dead!"
I get on the ladder.
Yeah, I'm running to the ladder.
yeah.
I hesitate for a second, but then I go.
Come on, boss.
What's running through your mind what causes you to hesitate?
Because, like, some fucking random dude in all black. And, like, I know with my, 700 years of experience, usually a person in all black.
Nephis has all black and gold. Oh wait, no, he's more white now.
So
He also does necromancy.
I will say
Leather?
I'll say this to you. I'll say that you receive kind of the newfound caution at the warning that Hakon Guns had given you when we last left off. Do you remember what that warning was?
Yeah.
What did he say?
Wait.
He grabbed you by the collar and yelled at you. He gave you a warning.
He told me to not die and protect my team, pretty much.
And he said, if you are their leader, then you need to lead. So that caution stems from that warning that you were given, that these people, that your companions, their lives do rest in your hands. However capable they are at defending themselves, your choices as a leader will indicate whether or not they have to throw their lives away, or whether you see many prosperous years. So that causes a sense of hesitation, and yet the realization that you're not really left with a choice here. You grab a hold of the ladder. Your party members are already scaling this, and one by one, actually, as you guys get to the edge of it, there are other similarly garbed figures. There's a total of 8 on this ship.
Wow.
And so at the point where the ladder is, there is 3. 2 of them are very visibly males in terms of body structure. You can't tell any racial components, but you can tell that we're not dealing with any tieflings, dragonborns, no tail, no half-orcs. So they're either a mixture of human or elvish.
Elves.
Can I roll a religion check?
Not yet.
Okay.
And so the men are helping you guys get on board, so they're pulling you guys in right at the end, just make sure you don't fall back down. And at the same time that you kind of get to that point, they help vault you over. They're kind of the lead figure, who seems to be in charge and was the one that initially had leaned over. You all notice, has a bit different kind of appearance in terms of how her leather is very visibly a woman, and there are a few women on this ship as well. Her black leathers are accented with what appears to be red, and there's some scaled design to it that is affixed to different areas. Not enough to be like the primary component of her black leathers. Still black leathers, but there's these parts on the elbow, or the joints, kind of the weak spots where you see those accents. And then she's got a neck wrapping, kind of like a scarf that is red, and she still has her black mask on. The black mask gives the impression of a very poorly drawn sun. So it's semicircular because it covers just the face. It's semicircular. The bottom half of the face, just under the nose, is completely exposed. And it has 5 points that kind of like solar flares.
Her nose is covered?
Coming. So the nose isn't like covered at the nostrils, but the nose is covered. So it
okay.
kind of covers over the nose.
Oh, so it's
Yeah,
like
they can
Batman.
breathe. Yeah, that's a good question. She looks at all of you and goes, "Okay, I'm glad we made it in time. It was going to be very terrible if you guys had perished. We got to get out of here." She looks over towards one of the men on board who's standing next to another woman. So there's a pair. They're like standing together off to the side. She looks over. "Trolt, Perella, get on the helm. Get us out of here. We need to be as far away from Imrith before she gets out of that. If you guys thought that was going to kill a dragon, you are sorely mistaken, but I'm quite impressed that you could drop a temple on her. You've done nothing more than just piss her off, I can promise you, but we'll do everything we can to get you out and safe." She looks over towards the 2 men that brought you up. "Brassic, Laz, get them water, get them something to eat. I'm sure they're exhausted, I'm sure they're hungry." She looks at you all. Are we leaving anyone behind?
Yeah.
Hakon and Harshnag are still in the rocks.
At the mention of names?
I know what this is.
I know, me too.
Turn this bad boy around! Come on, go back, go back.
There is your passive perception and your passive perception only. Or sorry, your passive insight. You notice that everyone on board gets visibly, they have the same reaction of pause at the name Hakon.
Oh, poor Harshnag, dude.
Yeah.
You know, everyone, like as Perella and Trolt are heading up to the helm, they both stop and look down. Like as Brassic and Laz are going to get stuff, they stop and turn back. All of them have that impression. And you see she goes, the leader, well, I'm sorry, there's not much we can do. We have to get out. Anyone who is left they've been left.
No, you know it's fine, dude. It's
She's
fine.
probably trying to hold us strong.
That's confidence, dude. It's
Yeah.
confidence. It's what he needs
He's a
right
hero.
now.
That makes sense.
It's what he needs right now. He needs a pat on the back.
Who are you?
That, I'm sure you have a lot of questions. We'll get to that when we can. First, we need to get out of here. Let me handle that.
Ew,
I can tell you first and foremost that my name is Delphine. But please, go to Laz and Brassic. They'll handle getting you food and
Alright,
rest.
I'm
At
less
that point
disappointed.
now, you can see
Me too.
that Perella and Trolt have gotten to the helm, and the airship immediately starts taking off. And one of the men that is off to the side is already in the midst of pulling up the ladder, and he gets it all the way over and kind of stuffs it off to the side. There is a mounted ballista on the front of this ship. So to give you,
Ballista.
Does it have like an anchor attached?
That's the person.
no, it doesn't. It doesn't have an anchor. It'd be a
I think that's
ballista.
ballistic.
Turn
No,
is a-
ballista is like a giant, like crossbow turret.
Do you think
Yeah,
I
but
could?
it could shoot
You think I
up.
could use that?
It has.
With
It's
my
basically a
efficiency?
massive mounted harpoon. You would actually be better at aiming it than anyone here.
Wait,
Can I
it's
to
a
walk
harpoon.
over to it?
It's a
okay?
massive harpoon.
with a rope attached?
That's a great
We
question.
could do that.
Um,
we could do that.
Exactly.
There is a woman currently manning it and is pointed towards because
Whoa.
the temple is on your guys'
Experience,
right
she's a little
side.
shaky.
So she seems. Make an insight check.
First day of the
Make an
job.
insight check. If you're not proficient in insight, I would give you proficiency because of your gunslinging.
I am.
Okay, good.
It's 16.
16.
Yeah.
She looks confident, but a bit inexperienced in probably firing, which is good. That she hasn't had to. It just means she hasn't had to shoot it, but she's confident that she could shoot it.
It's a really bad news.
And any of the visible stress because we have a dragon nearby.
It's a +6 now. It's a +6 now.
Is it?
Yeah.
So would a 17 be any different then?
No?
He has +5 written down for it, but he's proficient and he has a +3.
Then you're very much correct.
So it's a +6?
Yeah.
So would a 17 be any different or no?
No.
Okay. Thank you. I didn't know that.
No worries.
The crow's nest of this airship is actually at the top of the balloon. So there's a mast that this balloon wraps around, and there is a ladder that goes up there. One of the men actually heads up on that and is starting to get through. You imagine that whatever is keeping this balloon inflated is in there somewhere. You can hear the sound of like of flame in there. So it's like a massive hot air balloon style airship.
The dragon knocked that right down.
Now, in terms of how long this balloon, or this airship is, I would say it's not, 20, 30, 40, yeah, it's roughly 50 feet long. So it's not incredibly long. It's about 20 feet wide. It's a pretty small ship, very tight and cozy.
Oh,
And it is a 2-level ship, so it's not even that deep. The ship is able to move very quickly as a result of that, and off it goes. So you guys begin flying off out of the Kadroon Valley and making your way down south, so back towards the Forgotten.
Is there a threat?
Sorry, H&I Hike said beware the 99 red balloons. They all float here.
Oh no! Hey, that's a great reference.
Just laughing.
That's awesome. They start heading south, back into the Sword Coast, and you are able to see kind of the expanse of the region open up before you, beneath you, in a lot of ways. The 4 of you are still above deck. They've given you kind of like a small bread and some salted and dried meats that you're able to eat. So a bit of a jerky and a little bit of a jerky and toast combo, but
Nice.
it's better than nothing.
Can I say something to my party while we're eating?
You have full room to talk amongst yourselves at this time.
They dress like me, covered with garments over their face,
This is leather
but their
All
face
of them are masked.
is covered.
with leather.
And the sun.
You wear cloth.
You've
And
never
no
felt
sun.
my mask,
Yours is white.
Can I,
but it's the same.
It's not leather.
would it be better to do a
That would be
religion?
really weird if you was
Would
wearing
it
a
be
black
better to
leather
do
mask.
a religion or a
Because
history
we've been
check on
over
the sun? god?
Yeah.
No one would let me wear a gimp mask.
Right, which is why we told you it couldn't be leather. It's just coming back. See, this would have been a really bad point had we declared it a leather mask. I'm
Yeah.
so glad I made that decision during our session preps. Help your players out, DMs. Don't let them screw themselves over. Don't do that to them. Love them.
Do any of you
Unless-
know what group this is?
No. I should probably ask
Let's
him.
see,
Actually, can I history check?
You can, and
do
at
that.
this
Oh,
point,
Is
I
it
will let you roll
history,
a religion check.
religion, or what?
It's only history or religion.
Only history.
Or
religion.
wait, do we have to have proficiency to roll?
You
it?
do have to be proficient to make the roll.
Dude, that's messed up, dude. I didn't take it because I thought the other people were taking it.
I know.
Now
I know.
Now I can't roll it, dude.
I'm using my inspiration.
Can I help him?
Wait, who's
Give
religion?
him advantage?
I thought you were religion.
I did, but I
Use
got
your
it.
big
The
brain.
cleric.
What'd you
Yeah,
get?
the rough brain. Oh my gosh, that is smooth brain.
Hey,
That is smooth brain, dude.
quit it.
For the leader?
Wait, what did you
Come
get?
on, boss.
Stop it.
Come on, boss.
It's 12.
12.
I got a 12 too.
You both got a 12. So,
Oh,
you rolled religion, you history?
Yeah.
Okay. The only thing that you can draw together is that there seems to be some level of importance in terms of respect for red dragons. The only reason why you get that impression is because the balloon of this airship is a red dragon. It's a red dragon balloon. And the embellishments on the armor of Delphine, the leader, and the scarf. So she has a red scarf and then red scaled embellishments on her armor.
Do I know if red dragons are chromatic or?
Yeah, you would know that they're chromatic. So there's nothing that would give away that, like, the implicit and explicit recognition that they have some respect towards some of the most
She's one of the.
feared creatures throughout the Forgotten Realms. For you, Varys, for your history check, you are unable to pinpoint anything historical that indicates who these people are. His is vague. His is like, I can just draw that they have a respect for red dragons. History is a different matter because you're trying to pinpoint like anything that would give away who these people are. And that's very difficult. You've only heard of one major group in all of history that was tied to dragons, but they've been gone for the past few years.
What was that one lady's name from the last campaign? The one who was one of the wearers of
They're the
purple?
cult of the dragon.
There's many. So
The
like
one
Holy
that
shit.
we kind of, well, we weren't friends with her, but we had like a mutual.
Talus
Oh, that's
the
right.
White.
Okay, I just had to make sure. I just didn't know.
Correct. Talus the White.
So a bunch of masked individuals, and the only other dragon clan that I remember was the Cult of the Dragon.
Correct.
Bad guys.
But they've been gone for a few
and
years.
those were all chromatic dragons.
Wait,
Correct, but they've been gone for a
Would
few
we
years.
not be aware of the? Isn't there a dragon religion?
No.
Okay,
Is-
never mind.
Are there any like members eating with like in the same room as us or anything?
Well, you guys are above deck, so no one's eating at the same time. They're all attending to
Okay.
the airship.
I
But Delphine starts to walk in your guys' direction as
Oh,
the
no,
as
no.
the severity of the situation kind of dies down. We can go ahead and calm down the music a bit
What bastard.
for you. Delphine heads over in your guys' direction. She has a bundle of things in her arm. They appear to be a mixture of like silk blankets or like cotton blankets. Like there's some that are a little bit thinner, some that are fluffier, right? So a mix. But blankets nonetheless. And heads up to you guys. We don't have much in terms of bedding. It's going to be slightly uncomfortable. However, we have extra blankets that you could lay down, and we have a few cots that you could you would have to rotate.
I'm gonna,
At any given time, the ship rotates active members that in groups of 4. So we split between the 8 of us to take shifts throughout the day. So that leaves some available beds when you need to rest. I'm sure you're going to have many questions, but I'll give you these blankets, and she kind of hands them off to you guys.
We
yeah.
got the things.
Thank you.
I'm glad we were able to get to you.
Really?
we look like little kids. Our mom just gave us our sleeping bag for fucking.
No, I
You
need.
bird.
Yeah,
I
that's
get cold.
true.
I'm an old
I
man.
get cold hooves.
Professor.
What?
Before I.
Oh, it is a little bit colder
I
up here, so you get the
cold
fluffy
hooves.
ones.
I get cold
Sorry.
hooves. See?
But before I accept your kindness,
I get the fluffy.
why do
No.
you
You're
revere
old, bro.
the
You
Red
can't
Dragon
feel it. You
with
can't
so
feel it
much?
anymore.
Old and frail. Sorry.
She kind of looks over as you guys are squabbling over the blankets. We come to you on behalf of Klauth, the great dragon of the north. Klauth offers you this vessel and our services as a gift, so that you may cross his vast dominion while avoiding the many perils of the land below. We are to give you a message. War against the giants is inevitable, but the great dragon commands that you forge ahead and face your destiny. The ordering of the giants has been broken, that even we know. They are not united. Slay their leaders and you may yet prevail. If you succeed in quelling the giant threat, Klauth bids you to come to his hidden veil so that he can reward your bravery.
Loot.
Mm-hmm.
Aren't chromatic dragons evil?
Yes.
They're smart.
The world around us recognizes a morality that it defines. Are red dragons evil? The answer in many ways is yes. Are they powerful? Yes. And Klauth, one of the greatest of them.
Well, I'm in no place to judge, so I must accept this offer.
I'm glad you recognize that. It would make things a bit difficult and a bit awkward on our journeys. We are free to serve at your command.
Can I give her a judgy look?
Your displeasure with us is visible, Elder.
After all this stuff with the cult of the dragon, and you're just gonna go ahead and support this cloth dragon?
Cloth.
That's what I said.
Cloth, actually.
Was
When you
cloth
mean-
a good or a bad guy? Because most chromatic dragons are evil.
I will let you make a history check.
Can I roll
Only if
it?
you're proficient in history can you make this history check.
According to my calculations.
Oh, wait, I already rolled a religion.
And I will give you advantage because of your many centuries being alive.
Can I roll a religion check now that I know a
Yo,
specific
fuck yeah,
dragon,
baby.
like
That's what
Cloud?
I'm talking
No,
about.
there's nothing else you can grab.
Okay.
History check, baby.
22.
22. You've actually heard stories of Klauth, the Great Dragon of the North. After giving that title, it kind of connects the dots. He is one of the most ancient, one of the largest, most terrifying red dragons in Faerun. He is nicknamed Old Snarl. And he is nicknamed that because of his temper. He is a very tempestuous dragon, very easily provoked. And in fact, many a small town wishing to entreat him for protection, hoping that he would not burn them to the ground, have subsequently set their own fate.
Sounds bad. They
Sounds-
would pay him off?
They would try to.
He's like
And
the local
the
mob.
annoyance of it. It is told that the frustration of impeding on his time causes the town to be burnt as a result.
Wow.
He sounds pretty snotty, yeah.
He's grumpy, he's temperamental.
I mean, aren't all dragons?
Aren't all dragons arrogant and prideful? Yes. With a 22,
Whoa.
you actually know there's very few dragons in the war that had occurred a few years back that were named. You know of the dragons that fought on the side of the forces of order. Bertanther was the king among them. The gold dragon, the king's justice. Chief among
Altari
many of the
the
metallic
Carnos.
dragons.
Otari the Akarnos.
There's stories of the Sword of the Council slaying a green dragon named Chuth. Some of the ballads and epics written in their name talk about them slaying a dragon known as Glazhael out near Parnas. Klauth is a name that rings true in this time period. And he was a dragon not involved in the war directly, but still was very much a part of ensuring that the Cult of the Dragon at the time did not have to worry about the smaller northern settlements from getting word out that the Cult of the Dragon was taking things, because your characters wouldn't fully know it, but it was rumored that they had been raiding and pillaging in order to acquire a lot of wealth. Klauth was rumored to have been a part of silencing potentially anyone from getting out and speaking on it.
This is what Vidanya's a part now.
No, it's
Apart-
Furthermore,
It's
It's not
definitely.
Vidania.
Yeah, she would not roll with this crew.
Vidania would chop all their heads off.
These guys are kind of naughty.
you
they are.
make a quick inference that if Klauth survived the War of the Dragons and these people serve him, the understanding you're getting is that they've served him for some time. And you may be dealing with a remnant of the Cult of the Dragon themselves.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, this is pretty spicy, dude.
I mean, we don't know that except for you. You would know that these people are kind of.
Pull your sword out.
Maybe they're.
Dude, you were right, dude. We thought we were just fucking on it, bro, but you were right.
Maybe they all had change of hearts.
Bro, the key is in the flower pot, dude.
And so Delphine asks you again, your disapproval of us is evident. Elder.
Oh.
This actually fits so well that our leader is fucking knows this shit.
I dislike red dragons. And I dislike the Cult of the Dragon. And you're eerily close to the Cult of the Dragon.
Could it not be said in some of the wisest proverbs of the lands that you could recognize that the enemy of your enemy is your friend?
I don't like that term. An enemy is an enemy.
It's very.
It's a good
Some would
one.
argue that's very narrow-minded
No,
in
that was-
terms of your
that was a good
philosophy of war. If all enemies are your enemies, even those that are just the enemies of your enemy, then you stand alone.
Almost.
So either our time together is you utterly standing alone, or you can consider us friends by that philosophy. Regardless of your disposition,
We'll let you live.
we are grateful.
But
Despite your disposition of us and your evident displeasure, we are gifted to you to traverse across the lands. We are to take you where you need to go, and to see you where your destiny lies.
on whose orders?
Cloud, the great dragon of the north.
Yeah.
They closed in. Come on, boss.
Can I lean into my leaders here
Yeah.
and whisper? As much as I'd like to deny, as much as I'd like to deny their help, knowing that it is purely in their own self-interest, I'm not sure we have much of a choice.
We get nothing out of this. My crew does not gain anything from.
Cloud does.
That's not true. You gain knowledge.
Knowledge of what?
What real adventurers look like.
I look up at the sky like righteously.
You see, there is a grinding of teeth.
A lightning bolt strikes.
I don't want to laugh, dude.
In many ways, you are correct. But no, there is no
Wait, can I insight that?
compensation for us in this matter. Yes, you can.
But Clouth is gaining. He is the one gaining here.
Glauth wants, he takes.
Clouth won't have to kill as many giants as we will because of this.
Arguably, I would not concern yourself with how many giants Klauth may or may not have to kill.
No, I tried to, but then I got distracted by like
What'd you
something
roll?
on the wall or something like 3.
What'd you roll?
Like 3.
Oh, you rolled a 3?
Yeah,
Yeah.
distracted.
Our leader.
I thought I was
this-
interested in the conversation, but then I wasn't. So.
Our leader is a righteous man.
I can tell.
I'd be wary
They
of
tend to be the most irritating and insufferable
Alright.
amongst the men
Take that back.
of the lands.
Don't talk about boss like that.
a pure heart is hard to come by, especially of a man of his age. I'd say we should cherish that.
753.
That is a smart saying. How many centuries have you lived?
7
7.
and a half. And 3.
See, she kind of eyes you and looks you up and down a bit.
I like rattle.
She's like, "Good for you." I'm
I don't know if
I'm
you go
sure
that
the lands
long.
of, I'm sure the lands of Toril are grateful for your persistent service to it. And may the gods, if they watch,
For
be
well done.
ever blessing you.
Now where may I take a piss?
Off the side of the ship.
There is a piss pot under deck, and if it is full,
On the deck?
under deck, and if it is full, there you are to bring it above deck, toss it over side.
What
No.
if it hits some? That's evil.
Have you ever?
That's the most evil thing
We
I've
don't
heard so far.
fly over towns and settlements.
Wait,
Yeah,
how
but
many?
There's people everywhere.
I have a question. Out of game, how many dice is a falling turd do?
Probably a lot.
I mean, every 10 feet that you fall, you take a d6 of damage. So,
D100
You
see if
could-
someone gets hit.
You could roll.
What?
You could roll a
Roll a
lethal
D100.
turd.
I mean, if
That'd be terrible.
it fell from like
Adventure dice,
terminal
dude.
velocity,
Or like if it was like really cold, like if it was really cold and the you know the
no, it'd be funny
The
if you
liquid
dropped
was
the bucket
solid.
on accident and it fell.
that one, yeah.
And there's some guys walking, and he's like, "Dad, I'm getting married," and they're, "Oh!" And everyone's like, "Oh shit!" The guy's like, "Exactly."
I'm just saying. Man. I feel like there could definitely be
That
a
would
better
be-
system to like.
That's Dungeons and Dragons in a
No.
nutshell. Yeah,
Dog.
that's all there is to D&D.
At
Where are they gonna
port,
dock?
bro.
We're in the
Are
sky.
there no rules for
Talking.
air travel? Is air travel just like do what
We
you
don't
want?
dock with a ladder. Do you not see the ladder they hung off the edge?
No, he's saying I'm like. where
Who
would we
regulates
dock?
air travel in D&D?
There's
No,
not a
dragons.
regulatory
No.
force. Wizards, dragons, whoever can tear you out of the sky. It's more of a survival.
Why?
It's more of a free for all.
There's no traffic controller.
No, there's no air traffic controller. There's not a regulatory force. I mean,
What's its
Waterdeep
registration?
Waterdeep has the Griffin's cavalry, so Waterdeep has a capacity to be like, we gotta take this thing down.
You got 2 goblins with the fucking.
Dragons doing fucking loops.
That being
Dragons.
said,
Dragon port.
Delphine kind of looks and goes, and I guess the obvious question is, where are we headed?
I look at Poltron.
Gosh darn it, dude. Why you gonna have to ask me?
I'm good at this thing, Poltron.
Alright, well, I'll tell you what. Wait, did I get told where the Countess was? Is it, I said
No, that's what you're trying to do.
Yeah, we're
You're
trying
trying
to-
to
where
narrow down where her
Sansari
castle is.
Okay. You wouldn't know where Count Sansari is? No.
No.
Castle? Okay. Well,
Name doesn't ring a bell, unfortunately. Is this a noble?
there's a countess.
Same question. Are we dealing with a noble, noble home, a family, a noble house?
Related to the Cloud Giants. In some manner.
No, I'm not. I would not know of any giant countesses.
Guys, no one has anything from last time?
I've got notes, but they're all
Gosh
over
darn
the
it, dude.
place.
That's the most useful thing I have.
Part of me thinks this is from the last campaign.
What?
Alright,
Damn.
then. Do I not know something I should know?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Alright, let me look.
Field of Ore. We did.
At about this point, one of the men comes up and stands next to Delphine, and not necessarily. There's really not much to hide
Jennifer was old
up here.
news.
And he goes, Captain, everything is going smoothly as of yet. We've seen no sight of Imrith in the area. Delphine goes, very good, safe travels.
Wait, what did he say?
Not
What was that last one?
no sight of Imrith,
Oh, I'm
the dragon. She goes, Nizroth, you are a bit more well versed on our local areas. Could you not just stay present, listen to the conversation, see if there's anything that you could put in? He's like, yes, very well, Captain. What are the questions?
well, we're looking for a countess.
I was born and raised in Long Saddle, so I know the local area here a bit more than everyone else.
I know it well.
Okay. I will try to be as helpful as I can. We're looking for a Countess Sansuri who's somehow related to the Cloud Giants.
I don't know anything about giants. I know the local area pretty well.
I was told to find something within Flint Rock or White
Damn,
Sand.
I don't remember.
Okay, that's very specific. What do you all know of the Uthgar tribes?
The Uthgar tribe. I know that they're barbarians and they're nomadic.
Correct. Very correct. The names Flint Rock and you said White Sands,
Yeah.
right? Those are names of 2 of their burial mounds. The nearby area is actually riddled with them. The different tribes, the tribe of the elk, the tribe of the bear, they very well were in this area, especially during the wintertime. They would travel south from Icewind Dale. And yeah, those are 2 burial mounds that are, I mean, they're not that far off. He looks over to Delphine, like we could probably get there by the morning.
Why are you still looking at it? We figured it out.
It's more of a matter of which one you would want to head first. They're not technically like right close to each other. They are pretty close.
Which one's closer?
Here, give me a map. I can kind of help you. And you guys pull out your map, and he takes it. So
He rips it.
He goes, I'll mark it on your map.
He rips it. You wait.
Did you get back from the bathroom yet?
right. So
I don't know.
You know, he's taking a
Ethan's
long,
gonna tell me if
long
it's full
piss
or
in
not.
the bucket.
yeah, you can come back.
He comes back.
So
Does he
not
have to
full.
empty it?
Well, dude, it was like narrative. It wasn't gonna actually be full. So he looks at the map and starts to kind of chart it down. So he's like, so we are right up here, right? A little bit more south of it. So when it comes to the White Sands, so this lake here that's in the Evermoors, there's one. The White Sands is going to be a little bit more towards the northwestern edge of that lake. Flint Rock is going to be a bit more on the southwestern edge of that lake. So technically, we're closer to the Shining White Sands than we are to the Flint Rock.
I don't travel very far. But I'm no Luthgard.
Neville.
I'm gonna head to sleep feeling like this conversation does not pertain to me anymore.
What time of day is it right now?
What?
It's starting to get dark.
You never know when we'll have to fight again.
I've got
I say get all rest now.
Do you really?
Yeah. I just crawled out of the fucking worm's
You have full
mouth.
health, right?
Remmer has. It was a bug.
I'm gonna grab the old
It
man's
was a bug.
shirt.
It was like a giant centipede. Yeah.
I'm gonna grab your character tray and say, "Time to go to bed, old man."
In fact, you're still kind of covered in the gunk of it. You never cleaned yourself.
Dude,
Ugh.
does he smell?
Yes.
There's
Yeah,
no
he
showers
recently
on
was
this
covered
shit.
in soot,
dude.
too.
Yes.
So it's just like slime.
Well, for
So,
you at
so
least.
you're slimed and caked up. You're seasoned, dude. You're
Seasoned.
marinating.
Do you have prestigitation?
Oh,
God.
Do you have prestigitation?
Do it to all of us.
That's a lot of work, guys, and I'm tired.
I mean,
What?
dude, I'll say to you, I don't. It doesn't matter if you do this. I'll say you fought hard enough, old man. You can rest now. As I kind of drag you down to bed.
I do not change. I've mended them. Is there any like small broken objects? I just
Actually,
Not nearby. The airship actually seems to be very well taken care of. Were you gonna have a question?
no. I was gonna ask for a change of clothes, but then I realized why would I do that? Because then I'm not gonna be covered anymore.
Correct.
wait, mending would fix like a t-shirt too.
Yeah, it would fix like a physical tear.
That's why
It's
I've
from
mended,
like
dude.
acid soaked.
Superman had
It's all bleached.
My clothing will.
Well, mending
It
would
looks like
no,
tie-dye.
mending could repair like the different parts of your armor that would have been a bit corroded.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you could mend that back together. I would say that's fine. I'm not
I-
going to be that type of DM that's like, nope, you got to get an entire new set of armor.
Can you?
You were only in there for one round.
Can you mend like
Does it
small
have a
bones?
cost?
If you were in there for like 5 rounds, you probably need a new set of armor.
If I like broke my nose, could I mend it?
No.
That's a good question. I don't think so.
What's a lodestone?
Because it's about it's for objects and items. A lodestone,
Yeah.
a lodestone. I think in the better description of it is like a stone that's able to hold power.
Oh,
You got your power stone through your power rocks.
I'm not a fucking
Yeah,
dragon.
yeah, yeah. I
Well, you
was going
can't
to the
use it if you don't
bathroom.
have your power rocks.
No, he's
Well, since you're-
he believes in
oh,
crystal
fuck.
healing,
No,
so
the
he pulls out his
camera, dude,
crystals.
the camera.
Dude, I can barely
Yeah.
squeeze out of the fucking
Every
chair.
Take an inspiration from that
Dude,
guy.
Look, you do it.
You torture
I
us.
did it last time.
No, you did
I
not.
proved
Torture
it.
us.
You and then you said, okay, I get it.
I have 2 lodestones.
You get the comfy chair.
I would just carry them with me. I have a bunch of fucking weird spell shit. I just don't.
So I pull out my Dragon Ball. So I mean, and you can see Nizroth looks back. So it just matters as to which of these two you'd want to head to first, and I can tell Trent will get right on it. Trent and Perella will get us there within the morning. They're on the entire night shift, so
It's your call, boss.
You snoring?
yeah, you just
Flip a coin.
the White Sands of Flint Rock. Where are we heading first?
You flip a coin, dude. Flip a coin, dude. Evens his heads, odds his tails. Come on, dude. Do it. Nice, dude. Heads. Heads was Flint Rock.
We're going to Flint Rock.
Okay.
Nice.
It'll be a little bit of a longer trip. We'll be there in the later part of the morning, but we'll be there in the morning. So, there's 2 cots downstairs. You're free to sleep in the sleeping area. It's a tight ship, but
You don't need it.
just don't. I'm sure Delphine has already run you through. The captain has, run you through everything. Don't go to the storeroom, and we should be good.
Can I insight?
No, you know what?
Don't
In your
go to
vision, they must have a
store?
dead giant in there.
Sure.
Could they?
Yeah, you inside it.
In their storeroom?
They could.
It wasn't a
They
boat.
could. I mean, they did say they wanted to kill giants, so.
I got a
I wouldn't put it
11.
past
Should
you.
we sneak in?
Storerooms are where they keep like all of their stuff,
Would it
Yeah.
be big enough to hold
like
a
their
giant?
foods,
It's just
all
like,
that.
don't touch my ship.
No, this ship is not big enough to hold a giant.
Never mind.
No.
Well, it's a giant ship.
Well, it's an airship, but it's not big enough to hold a giant.
Yeah.
It's like 20 feet across, dude.
Being carried by a balloon.
Like a giant could lay on it, but
Does
it's
it
not.
look like it's built to like fight dragons?
No,
Oh no.
this is built to
It's like-
move. This is built to move
Oh,
quickly.
it's like the Black Pearl.
No, because the Black Pearl could at
It's
least
fast.
attempt to fight off a Kraken
there's no cannons.
and help bring down a Spanish
If our
galleon.
guns, though.
So,
We do have the balloon.
but speed-wise, yes. But I don't know if I'd consider this nigh uncatchable. I do think a dragon could outfly this thing.
I don't know, man. If we all blow really hard in the balloon, we're cooking.
All right. So you guys all begin to gather below decks and begin to gather your things together in
Immediately meditate.
the crew quarters here.
Do they need help with the harpoon gun or anything? Like,
Let's just sleep.
I'm going to bed.
They don't have anyone manning it presently.
Trance.
Dude,
Once you guys had got away,
Do
You're
they
750
need someone
at
manning
first,
just in
like, you're
case
so
anything
close to
happens?
the
Not
Is there
actively.
any way I can sleep like on the top? Because I do have thermaturgy and I can
Well,
sleep.
like,
I mean, I can see pretty far.
Busy work for
If I can,
4
like,
hours.
if something were to happen, I can.
You
start
could if you'd be
pissing out.
willing. It might get cold.
We just pretend to
Can I
lay
get a
for
fluffy
4 hours.
blanket?
Yeah, you can grab one of the fluffier blankets, but you're still well in the sky. And
I guess I'll
out.
sleep down there.
So you guys all gather below deck. There are 4 people who are getting ready to get back into their cots to sleep because remember they swap out, and they had all men on deck to ensure, or sorry, all hands on deck to ensure that you guys were able to get picked up and head out.
I'm just
So
gonna sleep on the floor with my thick blanket.
nice.
Mine's.
Is
Wait,
there
do
any-
we have to sleep on the floor? Or
You
can I
have
sleep
fur.
on the
I
floor?
got
No,
the
so
thickest
there's only
blanket.
2 cots
have
available, so
I'm
2 of you
sleeping
will
on
have
the
to
cot.
sleep on the floor.
I'm on the cot with
That's-
the big
that's-
blanket.
No.
I get the fluffy one.
Yeah, see, this is the
There's
don't
two.
get
There's
silk.
2 fluffy blankets
There
and
we go.
two silk
We
blankets.
got 'em, yeah.
I'm the
We wanna be
frail old
catered.
man.
I just robbed you.
He's got fur.
I don't care, dude.
Right?
I'm laying on the floor, dude. I need it.
I get my shitty little blanket that can't cover my whole body, and I like turn.
I pat your back.
them.
I start mumbling.
You'll be alright, boss. I'm cold now, dude. And then I go and I snuggle up with my blanket.
tears hit the.
Dude, whatever, dude. Poltra's curled up in the fetal position in the corner on the
You have
floor
fur.
right now. I don't care, dude. He's cold. It's cold
Is
up
it
there.
that cold?
He's scared of
Hey,
heights.
do they give him a food bowl?
No, no.
I had to ask.
Look, I said I was going to make things a bit unique when we had a Minotaur as a part of our campaign,
What
but
if they didn't know? They said they felt like a fucking.
I'm not going to
food
bully
bowl.
them. These guys see a dragon on
You get off
average,
the
so they're not put off by a Minotaur.
Can we get him a collar with a name tag?
No, with a little
Jesus.
bell. Little
Oh,
bell. Ding,
no.
when he runs around.
You know,
Cowbell
just
on
a
it,
full
just for
horn
fun.
and
So you guys
then
always
put it
know when he's coming, but it would ruin your entire capacity to be stealthy. He's just running.
on. I mean,
Vulture, we got you, bull nip.
Can I cast
What is
Sacred
that?
Flame for warmth? Is that possible?
It's a piece of paper.
It's not necessarily like a. I would say Create Flame would do that better because Sacred Flame you cause someone to burn.
dude.
So it'd be hard to like channel that in just your
I don't wanna be
hand
a
when there's a
hairless
spell that
person.
does that called Create Flame.
Well, you have to think like that, Brandon. Fine.
No,
Do I get a full rest?
Extra flame.
Yeah, you guys will get a full rest.
Yeah.
Unless there's anything you guys want to do throughout the night.
4 hours.
Yeah.
I
Hey,
read.
you know what? They told us.
Actually,
Alright,
one.
hey,
Sorry.
in the
what were you
morning,
saying?
They told us
actually,
not
No, you're
to
okay.
go
You don't
to
even
the
go to
store.
bed. You
No.
just lay there.
That's what
Really
I'm reading.
want
Why are you pissed
And you-
about it? You
okay,
don't even need
It's
it.
Yeah.
still cold.
Omar has something he'd like to roleplay
now
out with
you
me.
know
Can
how
we
it
do
feels,
that?
dude.
Sure.
You have
Okay.
fur.
You're. Oh,
Your stealth's pretty
you
good,
can't
right?
even feel the cold.
My stealth's not that good.
What's your stealth?
A +1.
What?
No.
I can go invisible.
That counts, right? Wait, how many people are downstairs? Where's the storeroom? How many people are
The
downstairs?
storeroom is on the very frontmost point of the ship, on your guys' level.
Our leader did tell us that this was a cult of the dragon. This was
You
their
did say it out loud,
remnant
yeah.
of the cult of the dragons. So I wouldn't feel too.
Well, he never said that these guys are. He just said he doesn't like the Cult of the Dragon.
He said that. Didn't you say that they were like a remnant?
I said they were eerily similar.
Yeah.
Right. He said they were eerily
It
similar.
just sounds like
they
he's
made no
suspicious, but we
confirmation.
don't really. I mean,
Correct.
Well, I did hear what she said her leader did.
Well, I don't sleep, so like I'm active.
Wait.
oh yeah, because you only sleep
But-
for 4 hours.
Before,
Sleep, but I
before.
need the big. You can like read for like 4 hours.
Wait.
It's just light activity.
Omar, let's
Wow.
role play this out. So you have an idea of the store.
Oh, but are there people guarding it at all? Do we
No.
know that? Oh, there are there people
Wait, are you guys doing this in the
downstairs?
morning or while
At night.
At night. Why would you do that in the morning?
Damn, son.
No, it has a door, and the door has a lock built into the door.
Are there candles lit around
On
it or
our
whatever?
side,
Well, it's yes.
Is it locked?
they can't lock us in, right?
No, they can lock the storeroom.
Oh, so it is locked though.
Yes.
Do you think I can like pick lock it?
I was just trying to take for a second. You're like, oh, they can't lock us in. Like, yeah, the guy's gonna close the
Wait,
door,
wait.
walk into the storeroom, and then lock it and be like, ah, I locked you
I
guys
don't
in.
wanna- I don't
I
wanna-
locked you guys in with what?
Full on.
It is currently locked.
Are you gonna talk with me about this, or no?
I was just gonna walk up to it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What?
Balls.
This would be while you're trancing.
I'm sleeping.
I would like to. I would like to cast.
You're asleep.
I would like to cast Find Familiar, and I would like to switch my familiar from a raven into a rat, and kind of keep him
A
tucked
rat
in.
on a flying boat.
Do it now.
I watched the whole thing. Bunch of crows.
and I'd like to
These are
whisper
Harry
to this
Potter.
rat's ear. I'd like, keep guard. If anything happens, wake me.
You hear?
I'm gonna. Can I attempt to pickpocket?
Yeah, make a thieves tool.
Do
check.
I
You
see
have
this
thieves
happen?
tools?
Yeah.
Okay, make a thieves tool.
Do I see his character? What do I see his character do?
Attempt to pick the lock.
Okay, I'm gonna go over and watch him.
Okay.
Just don't watch
her.
me.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch
I
him.
just look at you. Just like.
Oh, don't do that.
You should hold a flashlight.
Careful.
Do I add anything to my thieves tools or no?
Yes. So, do you have a proficiency in thieves tools written down on your proficiencies under tools?
No, I just have tinker.
Okay, so it's just your dexterity modifier.
Okay. 22.
Okay, you pick the lock. Yeah.
I just wanna see what's
Make a
inside.
stealth check for
Oh
me.
yeah, that's fine. 21.
21? Okay, so you pick the lock, you don't make any crazy noises, and you slowly open up the storeroom. It's not big by any means, but the room is packed to the ceiling with crates. Lots of crates and casks. There are nets that are secured to iron rings bolted into the walls that seem to prevent these containers from moving around.
Is there anything that would catch my eye in there besides just crates and
No.
nets?
No.
Just
You get the
open
impression that
the
this is where they
box,
keep all their food
It's
and
like
water.
Madagascar crate.
Are they labeled at all? Or would I
What
just-
languages do you know?
Infernal and common?
What languages do you know?
I can use comprehend language.
You could.
I'll,
What languages do you know to dictate whether you have to?
I know common, infernal, and deep speech.
Okay, so they are all. Wait, you said common, infernal, and deep speech?
Yeah.
Okay, they all are marked in a language you do not know to read. Neither of you.
I'll use I'll use comprehend language.
Okay, they're all written Draconic. So some of the boxes are marked
guys know?
with food. Some of the barrels are marked as fresh water. The casks are marked as dwarvish ale and elven wine. So there's two different types of finer drinks that they have here, and that's it. So they have food, water, ale, and wine.
Can I roll an investigation check to see if I find anything more specific? Like
No.
other than-
Can we-
No, that is it being as
Open
specific
them.
as
I
possible.
just want to open up the crate.
Yeah,
and,
make
like,
sure they're not
Because is he
cat.
telling me what it is? Is he like just like
I-
telling me
That's a
stuff?
good question.
Because I mean, you are reading them.
Yeah,
Water,
you could ask him
guns.
what they say, or you could tell him what they say.
Let's go to
It seems to just be food and water and ale, which I will partake. And I'm gonna like kind of grab like anything I could use as a cup and start like kind of pouring some of the dwarvish ale.
None of the casks are open.
I don't care.
No, don't.
I don't care.
Can I stop him?
Do you? Do you know how to open a cask of ale?
I never tried.
Let's not try. Wait, is there a lid on top?
So it depends. You could try to do this.
Could I use my dagger? Can I put my dagger? Is there like a cork?
There is not a cork.
Is it like a barrel?
It is a cask. So yeah, kind of like a giant barrel.
Like the ones in like those big breweries at the huge.
Correct.
Oh, okay.
Can I roll an investigation check to see if I can figure out how to open this thing, or like if there's an
You
opening
may.
somewhere?
You may.
Does anyone know the Hufflepuff?
Oh, fuck.
Saying?
I got a 22.
22.
That's actually a good
They
thing for
make
their houses.
a
This is
device.
a fucking,
I guess is the best way. It's an
like a
accessory
huge- I was like
to
keg, but you know, just like that. Their doors. That.
the brewer's
I think it's a cask,
containment
or
of
something.
items, which is basically
He
a
opened
spout
it. He opened it.
that you shove through the wood. It connects and secures itself into the cask itself, and it has a bit of a handle on it that allows you to draw from the cask freely.
Is that in here?
You don't know. That's a great question. You would need to see if they have something like that to go ahead and cast the ale. The problem that then lies with that is that you can't uncask it. So the minute you've opened up this ale, people will know that the ale has been opened, and if they're not the ones to have opened the ale,
You can just lock at the store. There was
there's
a leak,
a lot of people on this boat, this airship.
but they probably all like they wouldn't just like.
depends on, yeah. So you guys
Probably
can
all
certainly
know.
try.
Let's not.
Can I look in the food and see if there's anything better than bread, like the bread? that
They don't
give us?
have a lot of perishable foods because
Are
there's
there any?
not anything to cook here.
Trapdoors.
Is there any perishable food?
No.
Wait, that's all that's in there though. There's nothing like if I were to move crates.
Yeah, it's
Does anything
all.
look like it's been,
yeah,
like,
they
moved
only have
or-
non-perishable foods. Is how I should have worded it.
I'm gonna grab some more food and jerky from the crate and kind of like.
The crates haven't been opened either.
Oh, so they're sealed.
What
Once you
are,
open
what are they
they're-
sealed with? Nails?
They are not necessarily nails, but yes, so like thick iron bolts.
Oh, we can't do that unless it's.
You'd have to undo the
We
lashes that are there and
Yeah.
pry them off. Normally, there is a crowbar in here. You could do it, but that's what you need to do to open it. Now that would also come with a lot of noise.
Yeah, let's not.
Would my rat be able to like gnaw through it or something and make it seem like a rat broke into it?
I don't know if that would be.
What if
How
it
the
turned?
fuck would a rat
Yeah,
get
I
into
don't.
this
I
stuff?
What if it
don't
turned into
know
a
how
termite?
that would work out.
What about a termite?
Well, you guys know that one a bit more professionally.
It might
Yeah,
take 10 years.
Yeah, it
for
might take some time, but I think
Yeah.
termite can do it. I don't know if a rat could chew through. I think
A beaver?
technically, I think rats.
A beaver?
I
Eat
can't
pretty
make
much
a
anything.
beaver
The thing is,
familiar.
how the fuck
You
we get
can't?
bug
Why?
problems
It's
in
too
the
big,
sky?
probably.
No. Oh yeah.
I don't
Compared
know.
to like little
Does
Sky
rats.
crabs? I don't know.
Does it
Could
land?
his familiar turn into a beaver? He eats wood.
Yes.
Why the fuck would there be a beaver on this flying ship?
I don't know.
Well, beaver
Yes,
on
but
your ship.
then you are dealing with the fact that there's a beaver on the ship.
I'm
You
just
guys
gonna-
can certainly try.
No.
Must be the urban legend of the
Look,
flying
there's
beaver.
there's nothing here. I'm just going back. If you actually, do you want to lock it up or?
I might not be as quiet
Is this all in the same room?
As
So, like,
you
am I
are.
watching them?
Yes,
but
because you're
Which is
trancing.
disgusting. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
They've
am.
opened up the storeroom, and you
Are
can
you
see
doing-
that they've been
I'm not
deliberating
just
like how to
Wait,
process it.
I am done in here, but aren't you a little curious of what else they have hidden around the ship?
Out of the storeroom, yeah. So let's lock up the storeroom.
And then look a little farther.
Sure.
Alright.
I don't think there's anything else besides the storeroom.
I'm going to very stupidly, without thinking, toss the lock to him, like get ready to lock it up. And I want him to be able to roll like an athletics or something. Or just
Oh, I'm gonna do that to him.
Fuck.
God.
And the lock isn't a physical
Yeah.
lock; it was a part of the door.
Silly.
So there
Can we
wasn't a
fix it?
lock to.
Wait a second.
There wasn't a lock to pull off. It was the door has the lock built into it.
Wait a second. I'm going to
Oh, run
cut
back
a
to my
hole
car.
into the top of the barrel with the alcohol in it. I'm going to drink it, and then I'm going to mend the wood back in place.
Can he do that?
What instrument do you have that could cut a
dagger.
A dagger is more of a piercing item. It's not
Use your
known
beaver.
for
Your beaver can
sawing
Okay,
wood.
could I just put a slit in it with my dagger to like make the liquor come out?
Woodpecker. Loud as shit.
Slide it stealthily.
Wait, what are you doing?
Dude, make a woodpecker. That would make more sense too, because we're in the sky.
That
This is like
is
someone shooting a machine gun.
a good question. You could certainly try it.
No.
Wait, what are you
Too
trying? I'm
much
gonna lock you
noise.
inside the
I'm going
store.
to tell my rat to keep guard at the front and come in if anyone's coming.
Well, there are people sleeping on this deck, so you guys aren't far off from people. They're just sleeping
Like, how many
currently.
feet?
The only person who's like capable enough of noticing what's happening is Varys.
Wait. This
I'm
is a
still
really
right.
bad idea.
Yeah, it is. Let's
Because
not
because
do
if
it.
I was thinking that like if I'm doing this, then I'm probably gonna get alcohol on me, and they're gonna see the one fucking retard covered in alcohol sleeping. Who did this? Oh no, it wasn't me. And like my clothes are purple.
Cover in the sun. Oh man.
I guess today was a bad day to wear white. Okay, can I do it? Can I cut a hole into the food one or something?
No.
Okay. Actually,
You're not in need of food. You guys have food.
Yeah, we're okay. There's nothing. Like,
okay, I'm
special.
gonna leave, but I'd
Okay.
like to keep exploring.
Thank you. Okay, I'm gonna close it back up.
Okay,
and
you lock up the store.
I just gave Omar a heart
Are
attack.
there any other like?
I would have ran into my fucking bed, act like I was sleeping.
I would have casted
He
invisibility.
wants his own sun.
No,
They
there's
just
not
see
any
nobody.
extra masks.
Oh, I just
But
saw the-
They see nobody but
the
alcohol.
members on the ship,
disappearing
when
into
they've
something.
gone to bed,
Where
they
is it
do
going?
take their masks off to sleep. It's probably not comfortable to be wearing
Or you- they see it,
while you're
like,
sleeping.
Over something invisible.
Currently
Wow.
on
Does
board.
the captain lady have her own room?
Currently on board. No. Currently
No?
on board. Yeah, no. It's not that big of a,
Wait,
of a
so
ship. They
They
all
could have
sleep
woken
down here.
up, and they could have seen us.
Yes.
Well, we're lucky.
You rolled really high.
They're all humans. Mhm.
Oh.
The
No
the
horses.
current, I would say, and don't take this the wrong way, but like the current stock of humans that you see here is actually they're very similar in physical form. So
They're relatives.
no. It like of like the same type of
We're a
people,
family.
right? So same type of humans from the same region.
Like they're all Italian.
Yeah, so they all have blonde hair, hazel, green, or dark colored eyes. They're a bit more tan than they are pale, but they are white skinned for sure. And they are, in terms of their body physicality, they're a bit on the average of height and kind of average of build. So they're
It's
not.
just a bunch of Joe fucking schmoes.
Seriously, yeah.
Yeah, these 4 are your Joe Schmoes.
How many people are on the ship total?
Including you guys now, 12.
Oh, because it's 4.
8.
There's
Yeah,
8 of them,
four
so
up
4
top.
down, 4 up top, and then you 4.
Is there anything else to explore on the lower deck?
Nope.
Guy,
Nothing of
Yeah, there's like a big enough space for all of you guys to sleep, and then the storeroom.
Is there any open
describing
food or
I'm
alcohol
Joe
crates?
No,
How do they give us the food if it's sealed?
that's a great question.
You guys don't worry about that? We just checked their food. It's like completely sealed, but they gave us food. But it's like as if it wasn't even touched.
They're wearing fucking BDSM vests. They probably got some tricks up their sleeve.
Do they have an extra set of armor?
No, they don't have any extra sets on here. I was telling him that the
Oh.
4 that are sleeping don't have their masks on.
You know
'cause
what? We can mug
a couple
them,
will
put them in
sleep in, so
storage
he's
room.
like looking at them and inspecting their features.
We can, how about this?
They wake up.
No, how about this, dude? We can knock one out. Right? We can knock one out. You can put a hole in the ale or whatever. We'll knock him out, take his armor, and then he can just wake up in the storeroom with alcohol. And be like, how did he get in there? In his underwear, yeah. Yeah, we can just take his armor.
You sicko.
Can I look for the? Can I? Do you actually want to do this?
I wanted their armor so I can use, like, if I had to use disguise stuff, I can just put that.
Can I cast
Oh, no, I'm
sleep
a
on the
tiefling,
weakest
fucking
looking
pig.
one?
Never mind.
Well,
that would have worked anyway.
Sleep you just cast, and it just would affect the weakest one.
Okay.
So it's hard to dictate like who.
Wait,
You
what
can't,
would happen if you cast sleep on a sleeping person?
that's a great question because
Do they
they're,
fall in a
it
trance?
wouldn't affect
They
them.
go into Aria.
It wouldn't affect them because they're already sleeping.
I had the greatest dream last
Wait a
night.
second, dude.
You're asleep.
No. But like, what do you mean? It wouldn't affect them?
It wouldn't affect them. They're sleeping.
Wait.
Yeah, exactly.
Sleep puts people to sleep. It wouldn't
So-
affect them. They're sleeping.
So if I hold person on a sleep person, are they forced to
Listen,
keep their
let me
eyes
put it
shut?
this way: if you were to cast hold person on some, like a quadriplegic, for example, that is someone paralyzed from the neck down, I would argue in D&D, this is my personal DM opinion, that hold person would not work on a quadriplegic
Do they have
because they are
nubs?
fully paralyzed.
Well,
And
they
because
move their
of that, the spell would fully paralyze someone. How do you paralyze someone who's already paralyzed?
Their
You
face.
can't. It's the same thing as saying, how do you make someone fall asleep if they're already asleep? I would argue it's the same logic. You can't.
I would argue that they
More
couldn't
powerful
wake up
sleep.
unless you damage them then, right? Or like try.
Well, that's the nature of sleep anyways.
So, but they would wake up if I pick them
You
up.
should scare them awake and then.
If I cast hold person on a sleeping person,
You could do that, and it
will
would
that-
paralyze them and make and while they're asleep.
Will they have to keep their eyes shut while they're paralyzed?
They can't.
Well, they'd be asleep first, so they are unconscious.
Okay, but if they
but
wake
their
up-
body would be like stiff.
So if they wake up, or are their eyelids stiff?
Well, if they were to, if so,
insane crust.
no, if they were to wake up and still be paralyzed, they wouldn't be able to open their eyes because
Okay.
they'd be paralyzed.
Okay. Well, I'll indulge you on this one.
The only problem is there's 4
I
of
didn't want to
them,
actually steal their armor.
so you
Well,
can't
said
hold
you
person
wanted
all of
to
them.
take it.
No, but there's no reason. I can't disguise my. I have a tail and I'm pink.
It's not
Like-
only a thing.
Yeah, I can't do that.
We're not killing anyone, hopefully. Guy's gonna blow this ship up.
My character's going back to bed. There's nothing else that I can do.
I'm gonna tell my.
Actually, can I go outside? I just want to go outside.
You can. It's dark, and the 4 that are above deck are
Just take one.
working hard.
Do I have a smoke or
Leave
something?
the rest of their outfit. There's just a man.
I just want to light up my.
You would need
No.
you would need a
Wake up
pipe.
and pee it, dude.
You have
Oh.
you've never.
Damn it.
This has never been a thing that Misery's engaged in. I can hardly quantify and be like, yeah, you just have a pipe laying around with some tobacco in it. You never have made that apparent. So
Actually, I'd
You're
like
right.
to.
no.
I'd like to have a heart-to-heart, one-to-one with Misery, so I'm gonna go up top deck
Why?
with her
Okay.
in the middle of the night.
Okay, so you head up to above deck with Misery, while the 4 that are up here are working.
How late is it?
You're probably looking at like
Shift or just fucking
10:30.
around? Dude, they're probably busy.
We're just like talking about our feelings. They're like
See it
mopping the
being
fucking
filled.
deck. Can we spill something? Oops. Just keep fucking.
Shovel the water out.
You guys are about to be like those tenants of like a hotel room that are like, oh, I don't care. They got cleaning ladies coming in the morning. You would just trash the place. Like,
Dude, what if
Jesus.
in the morning because you're old you shit next to the boat?
no. You missed. I can't control it like I used to. It just runs
At
out.
least you didn't fill it
That's
up.
terrible.
I'm
I
gonna.
know.
Are you like standing at the balcony, kind of
I'm
looking
like
over?
leaning, leaning on the thing, just like
I'm gonna.
sighing and.
I'm gonna walk to the like closest side of her, and I'm gonna kind of lean over and I'm gonna say, Misery, what do you think it takes to be a good person?
Shut up.
Brass.
You're not there.
Why are you
Asshole.
asking me?
Not much urge you did.
Well, I feel like you and
That's
I
my nursery.
were probably looked at as quite different than maybe our cleric or even the Minotaur. You know, my magic within itself has me looked down on. It's not respected. In fact, some fear it. And I understand why, but I just wanted to think what you thought it took to make a bad person or a good person. I feel like you know, we might make questionable decisions, but I would argue that there's a lot that view mine and your decisions as bad person decisions, or not something a good person would do. So
That's a great line. I think a lot of what we do would be bad person decisions.
What's your intelligence?
listen, it's higher. Just give me a break, all right? I was role playing yesterday, guys.
It's 100% what I imagine Hakon would be saying. Can't pay
My
one.
bad.
No, I loved it. That was
Dude, he
good.
better be alive. I'm gonna.
Oh my, that was good. That was good. That made me laugh a little bit. Okay, continue. I'm so sorry.
Do you think you and I are good people?
I wouldn't know. Depending on, I mean, with our group though, I wouldn't say we're really bad, but we're not that righteous either. I mean, I wouldn't compare ourselves with like a hero, or being so good, or being so evil. We're just ourselves.
We did kill a bunch of innocent people in the bar fight.
Do you think
That was
You
on
killed
accident.
2.
That was on. I didn't even mean
Or
that.
3.
It was my fault.
Accident.
You killed 3
Like I
people.
said, everyone clearly
I think
still bothered by it.
numbers wise,
I would
3
say
people versus a lot of people. There's a big
My
difference.
weapon slipped 3 times. Okay.
Oh my gosh!
It's like we killed a lot of people in a bar fight. It's like I didn't know I couldn't cast fireball in a full room.
It's the first time for
The
everything.
DM's like, we went over this.
Well, if you view it like that, what makes these giants bad people? Aren't they just living and being themselves, like we all are?
But we're not murdering innocent people or devouring them.
I would argue innocence is subjective. But I understand your point, and I appreciate your words of advice, even if they weren't meant that way.
I'm gonna continue looking back in the sky.
You see a few stars in the sky. One that twinkles. Just a bit. You see a shooting star.
I make a wish.
And that's just still and quiet.
Is your true purpose of staying with the party and choosing to take on this prophecy purely because of our lost companion, or is there something more?
I do want to avenge. Is it Brisfin, right?
Mm-hmm.
I do want to avenge Brisfin somehow, but I don't think. I think what we're doing is probably the right path to do that.
What do you plan on doing after? Do you continue to live life how you want, take from others when it feels convenient, and I guess from what it seems to me, live carefree, or do you think you'll choose on a higher responsibility?
I'm not too sure. I mean, still am a bounty hunter, so I might just go back to that for a while. There's nothing else that I really know how to do besides shoot a gun and cheat in a card game. Really. And
Well-
kill some giants.
I think if that's how you choose to live your life, then I won't judge you. But I can't say the same of Varys, or maybe Poltra. But if it feels right, then I encourage you. And I'm gonna kind of awkwardly just leave the conversation right there and go downstairs.
No buy, just fucking.
Like I've never had this much of a heart-to-heart
Right,
conversation with someone I don't really know.
Doesn't know how to
end it.
conclude it, just
Yeah.
leaves. Okay.
I'll look at one of the people on deck. This guy. I'll wait like a couple minutes and then I'll go back to my car.
You guys are all woken up the next morning the sound that wakes you up. And it's this high pitched in terms, like higher than what I did. Loud caw outside.
Like a hawk?
Yeah, probably. Probably like a hawk. High pitched, big, massive. As you guys are kind of, oh, hey. The people on the ship, the crewmen. Rock! Rock, get on board! You see people are getting up immediately, running up. Everyone's going up on deck. All
I'm
hands
going
on
up
deck
too.
at that moment.
Immediately.
Okay, so you
yeah.
rush
I
up.
want to see what's going on.
I imagine all of you guys are rushing up as well. The minute that you're out there, you notice that someone is on the harpoon and is tracing something. You intrinsically are able to follow it.
Pull up
And
my
pulling out your rifle, you see amidst the clouds the shadow of something massive flying through the clouds.
Do I know if it's a dragon?
You can't tell from this distance because you can't see through the clouds, just the shadow.
Can I use my thermometer to feel like there's something over there, like still tracing it as I'm. You know,
Yeah, as you're tracing it, you see one of the guys that's up there. Brassic looks over and goes, "Yeah, it's a rock." Looks over and goes, "Do we have any other? Like, do we have crossbows? Anything?" And you can see one of the guy, Trent, is like, "We weren't told to bring any." And you see the only lady who we haven't named yet because we've named Perella and Delphine. Her name is Zolfia. Is like, "And we left it to you, men, to take up our arms. Come on!" And you can see another guy's like, "I didn't think I was gonna die this way. I didn't think I was gonna die this way."
There's a guy on the
And you can see
harpoon-
Delphinine's like, "Everyone, get it together."
Guy in the harpoon gun. Does he look good enough to actually?
It is
shoot?
still
The same person.
it is still the lady that you saw man it the night before. So Perella is on it right now.
Okay. Then I guess
She's shaking a little bit more at this moment.
I'll just pat her shoulder, and then I'm gonna pull out my rifle and follow as well.
How close?
You guys break through the clouds and are in open space. Beautiful morning, and there's grasslands beneath you. And this rock has also broken through the clouds.
It's called a rock.
It's called a rock, R-O-C. It is a bird the size of a dragon.
What?
Correct, yeah. And so the sound suddenly makes sense of what has woken you. What is interesting enough about this rock is that it is being ridden. There is a saddle affixed to the backside of it. And you see an armored figure with deep, dark blue skin who is just as big in terms of size riding this creature.
This is a dream.
No, that's
There is a giant, a fully armored giant. The style of armor work and the flowing white beard provides similarities, thanks to your time at the Eye of the Allfather, to the Storm Giants. And this is a fearsome sight to behold. The Storm Giants are known as the strongest, the most powerful.
Oh my god.
And you can see
The
in one
Yeah.
one arm he's holding onto the reins of this rock, and the other he kind of looks over and kind of pulls it up and conjures a lightning bolt in his right hand, and kind of looks over at you guys, and then looks and kind of throws the lightning bolt into the clouds, and you can hear the of thunder.
Does my
And as he
message
looks at you guys. What do you say?
Who are you and why do you come?
He doesn't answer that. And he looks off at the ship and just grabs back under the reins and they kind of dive down a bit.
I
And
guess
then
I'll
they head
follow
off in
to the-
another direction.
My question wasn't good enough.
Oh no, he doesn't care to answer that.
He just fucking woke us up.
Yeah,
Threw a lightning bolt in the sky and a gift.
correct.
What the hell? Do the clouds look darker now, or kind of?
The one that he shot at, yeah.
Just that one?
And you can see Delphine goes, "That was a warning shot. If we run into any more of those types of giants, do best to not be threatening." Everyone's like, everyone's like a lot relieved presently, and you actually can tell that the airship has descended a bit, and so you guys look overboard and you see on the ground, there's this massive burial mound, and the way that Flint Rock works is it is technically 2 layers of burial mounds with a kind of like a small valley in between the two that is, I say small, but it's going to be a bit larger when you get down there. And the central-most burial mound has an indentation that looks like was impressed upon it that looks like a native depiction of an elk.
Okay.
And there is another mound at the heart of that elk. And you guys are descending down towards it. As you guys get to this airship actually can land, by the way. It has it has kind of like sled component to it that allows it to land. So they do land fully a bit off to the side. And the 4 of you are able to jump overside and make your way up to Flint Rock. Now, this is a burial mound, so you see the cairns, you see where the bodies should be interred. The tribe of the elk, as you can guesstimate from the from what is here, this is where they obviously would leave their dead and their ancestors. Now, from the first layer of hill that you can see is where all the cairns are, and there are these pillars that erect from the centralmost set of mounds, and there seems to be an altar at the heart of this.
Does anyone look present?
Do? No. It seems to be completely empty.
Can I walk up to the altar?
You may. If you walk up to the altar is a rectangular slab of stones, roughly 10 feet long, about 6 feet wide, and 3 feet tall. Its surfaces are worn smooth by time, and in the current moment, there are creatures that are here, just 2 elks that are present, and they seem to be foraging for moss, so they don't seem to be minding any care that you guys are here. The male, because it is a male and a female, and you see he's got this beautiful, just like fluffy, because elks they're fluffier from the neck up, and so this beautiful face, and you get a bugle, a very loud bugle in your guys' direction. So elks bugle, so it's kind of like a high-pitched
Oh, I understand.
right, and yeah, and so you hear that sound, and the male elk goes right back to kind of foraging and puts himself in a position that's kind of before the female, so they seem to be mated.
My vision, or whatever my experience was at the start of the campaign, I need to look for the Eye of the Allfather.
You guys have already found that.
What am I looking for with these
We can be eating good.
So that's a good question. You need to find something that could help point you where Countess Sansuri is. The goal is that there has to be something here that can get you on track. What that is, you guys have no idea. So it'd be a matter of trying to figure that out.
Is there any writing or anything on this like sacrificial altar?
So look for
It's not a sacrificial altar,
It's
but
something like Cloud Giant, though.
Can I hunt one of the elks for fresh meat?
No, don't actually.
Since I've only had dry meat.
you could try.
Can I use a spell?
You could try.
Fireball.
Make a religion check for me.
You might piss off a tribe of barbarians, dude. And then we're really
14.
So they might be
14.
watching us too.
You do faintly know, like a general understanding of ancestral spirit mounds as they've been tied to the Uthgard tribe. They're very shamanistic. And so the spirit of the elk is sacred to this place. It would be an act of sacrilege to kill an elk here presently. You would know that. You would have an understanding of that kind of religion. There's a power to this elk being here in sense of kind of like the Uthgard spirituality. Whether that deters you from slaughtering it is up to you.
Don't actually, please. Can I walk up to one? Like slowly?
You can try to make an animal handling check.
Oh. Just want to cut it. That's all I want to do.
It's a wild elk.
Maybe
Correct.
they're friendly. What if it kicks me?
It's
I
probably
don't-
just gonna run away.
I don't want that to happen. 18.
18. The male elk allows you to approach.
Am I able to pet it?
Yeah. So you're able to get kind of like and your hand going through its fur or his fur it kind of runs through the fingertips. So you're able to kind of like run up against the grain, and then when you run back your hand back down, it's very fluffy. He's a very big beast.
I'll like you know how like when
and you
horses,
hear
like,
these
pat
like
them on the chest,
these
you know?
small very at peace snorts as it breathes. So when it exhales, a bit of like a
Okay, I'll just
Alright.
like like just pat him and scratch or whatever. And that, once I finish, I'll like pat him and then I'll just slowly walk back because I don't want to I'll like startle him by running away or walking fast or whatever.
you slowly walk away.
Nephis is going to process that realization as the elks not being worth the food, that the trouble it might cause running into some of the Uthgar and having seen killed one of these creatures. So I'm going to go to the outskirts and maybe look for a smaller rodent like a squirrel or something.
I have food.
I want fresh food.
I got 10 days of food.
That's not fresh food.
More jerky for me then.
Yeah, you could take the time to acquire some fresh food. You need to make a survival check to see if you can find any fresh game. Could be a bit difficult because you're not.
Could I send my rat out and ask him to help?
He could. Your rat could attempt to help, but it's still going to make things a bit. It's still not going to be as easy.
Sure.
Would the male elk, would he let me like pet his mate?
Yeah.
Oh, he would? Oh.
I gotta
Can I
send
just
him.
be chilling with them
But they're
then?
probably pretty tempered towards people. It's just,
Mhm.
Oh.
don't kill them.
I got a 17.
17. Yeah, I'd say you could probably find a few hairs.
Can I cast Sapping Sting on them?
You could.
Okay.
What is it?
It's a
Anyone have a
cantrip.
pillow?
Yeah. I'll say that you're able to kill one bunny. Perfect.
I'll bring it
One,
back.
and it's a decent sized hair.
I'll bring it back and cook it while they're figuring
do
stuff
not
out,
do
and I'll
that.
split it into fourths for everyone.
Oops.
Okay.
Actually, can I make a stew out of it?
You could try to. Yeah.
I'll try and make a stew.
Okay.
Oh, they say a,
Okay.
a soup out of it.
So he's going to start working on a rabbit stew. So the three of you are at this burial mound. So while he's off doing that, what would you guys?
Start digging.
Where?
What? Don't fucking do that.
I'm a cleric, dude. I'd be the last one to do that. What type of burial?
I thought about it.
A burial mound. Burial
Imagine if
mound.
you.
Because I'm
Like,
picturing
are there-
like
are
a
there-
dragon.
I would
there-
off myself.
No. So
Are there headstones and stuff?
there's cairns. So
Oh wait, can you?
the
That's gonna
one
outer
myself.
ring
Actually,
of
wait,
hill.
wait.
Don't make me do it. No,
You
I'm getting water for
Guess
myself.
that
you
there's
monster.
bodies underneath
God
that.
damn it, Omar. You go get your own.
And there may be bodies
Go out
underneath
there, come on.
the
Thank you.
inner hill, but you guys are at an altar that's inside of the elk indentation. So you're like on your own little like island hill. You imagine that all the hills are filled with bodies.
We don't have to defile.
You don't have to defile the lands, you just need to find something here that might point you in the right direction.
Isn't it wrong to go through their stuff?
Is there like a visible?
Yes
dirt
and
trail?
no. It depends on how you view that question.
Wait, and how long is this ship gonna stay here?
They're here for you. So they'll
Oh, so
leave.
they'll stay as long as we're
Right,
gonna.
Klauth, as far as Delphina says, Klauth
We
has
got-
instructed them to do what you command.
So do we have any dirt trails that we can see?
No, it doesn't look like there's anyone that's been here recently.
Let me ask the elk. Yeah.
No, the elk trail.
Oh, there's going to ask the elk. I was like,
The elk trails, there's a bit more of those defined, but they seem to be there's not any direction as to like elks coming and going in specific ways. So it seems like the elks free
Yeah.
They
range.
just get the same two every night.
No, it's just that they free range. Like they just walk where they want. Yeah,
That's it. It's just the
it's like
resident
no, that's a good
elk.
question
Just
because if
the
the
two.
elks like congregated around a specific area, that'd be
Yeah.
a really good indication. That's not the case here. They just kind of free range. The whole mound is a good area for them.
why were we here?
We're
anyways?
looking for something that can point us in the direction of the Countess. I don't have much direction to go with other than like cloud giants. So look for something related to cloud
Are
giants.
there
or
any
giants, or
lightning symbols?
Countess.
There's not any
cloud
lightning
symbols
symbols.
on
So to
anything?
kind of give another description, just
Yeah.
again of kind of the area. So you
Yeah.
have the outer ring of hill. It's a ringed hill that has a bunch of these stone cairns all around it. There's a lot of them. Then you have the inner ring of hill, and there are 4 of these like obelisk they're not big, but these obelisk like menhirs of solid gray stone, and on the inner island is the altar. So that's all that is visible.
There's no writing or nothing on the altar?
No, nothing here has been written on.
Are there any names for like the cairns or anything like that?
No, the cairns do not seem to have been written on at
There's really
as
much to
well.
go on.
Can I roll a religion check from a distance?
You may.
Wait, can we open the cairns?
You could try to. Yeah.
I got a 19.
A
That would
19.
be defiling.
The menhirs,
burial
so the 4-stone obelisk-looking items are,
Anyone know how to speak to
get used
animals?
by shamans to tell the changing of time and the changing of seasons.
You?
So they track the sun's
You actually?
position and determine
I
shadows.
just have 5 wisdom.
So it's like a natural, it's like a sundial, but not.
Are you proficient?
No,
Do
but
they
I got
seem
it.
lined up in any specific kind of besides that?
I mean, they're
It's a +3.
lined up
Oh, that's right.
north, south, east, and west to give a good impression of seasonal time.
Do you?
No.
Can you detect thoughts of animals?
That's a good question.
I mean, not that I. Oh shit. Not that I would want to know what an elk thinks, but I just want to.
Grass.
Here we go.
We were like, oh no, he's not going to do it again. Oh no.
Were you confused of what that noise was coming from?
Detect thoughts. If the creature you choose has an intelligence of 3 or lower, the creature's unaffected. So it depends on what the creature's.
Do you know how smart an elk is?
No, I can look it up, but no.
Can I attempt it? I just want to know. You know, they let me pet him. You know, I wrote it in my journal.
I would not work on it.
It's stupid, dude.
I can tell you what that elk's thinking.
I don't read the elk's mind. But he's thinking.
Now they're eating.
Look, there's no.
Dude, you
can I
could have
investigate
discovered
the
if
variable?
animals have complex thoughts. if
Sure.
that worked, dude.
Make an investigation
I
check.
know, but that fucking elk wasn't intelligent enough.
Yo.
A natural
Wait,
20.
what'd you do?
I
Roll the what?
just shot the elk. No, I'm kidding.
What'd you do?
Investigating the barrel.
Ugh.
Barrel site. Whatever which way it goes.
Can I check the cairns or whatever they are?
You could attempt
no,
to.
you can't.
Yes,
You're a
I can.
paladin.
I can look at them.
You can, yeah.
You can't look in it though. Just look on the outside.
No, I don't look at them.
Like a good kid.
Any of them are
Grocery
interested.
store.
Oh my god.
What are you
dude.
window shopping for dead
Somebody
people?
look. Somebody please look.
At 20?
Look at what you've
Yeah.
done.
Yo, me too.
Oh, good.
Maybe you'll figure out something more than I did.
To what?
So you said I could look at the cairns.
He's investigating the Karens.
Yeah.
Okay.
No.
Dude, bro,
And you rolled an at 20 as well?
Look Sherlock and Watson right now.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys found out some cooler stuff from
All the furs on my back are purple.
since I was so far away.
So we'll start with your nat 20. They're cairns. They're very well made for cairns,
Oh,
and they
nice.
function as cairns. And you know so much about these cairns in terms of just how well they
Oh,
are.
like none of them have like cloud giants on them. Right?
Nothing in that indication. No.
Oh.
You, with your natural 20, because you're looking at the
The burial site.
burial site, you have a reason to believe that if there is anything unique about this burial mound, it's the fact that there is a natural indentation on a hill in the shape of an elk, which just so happens to have a hill at the heart of it, where it just so happens that the tribe put an altar on top of.
We need to sacrifice.
Is the math working there?
Should I roll for
No.
how good my stew is?
Very unnatural, the likelihood of that happening. And yet it has happened.
Don't.
Something underneath?
Whatever you do, bro, do not take us to that altar.
All day.
Well, you guys are already at the altar.
Yeah.
Well, we are. on?
Yeah, it's just an
You're
altar.
standing.
Yeah, it's 10 feet long, 6 feet wide, 3 feet
what
tall.
if we
Bust
put
out
bl-
the shovels.
What if we
dude.
put blood on it?
You can try.
What the fuck?
Just like a.
Dude,
No, that's some fucked up shit, man.
I'm over here playing Cooking Mama, fucking stirring the fucking.
By this time, you're done with your stew.
Okay.
Wait, no, because who was it that figured out it was something to do with like
What?
it's spiritual. The tribes, the stuff they
No.
do. Their rituals are
right?
gonna be spiritual. So it's gotta be something
Ethan,
related to like their.
can I
spirits.
cast Animate Dead and help the skeleton?
ancestors
Have the
or
skeleton
whatever.
help me carry the bowls.
What
of-
skeleton?
From my, I have the item that lets me
You're
summon.
gonna pull it out.
I can
Right, so you just want to.
I want to animate undead to help me carry the bowls over, so that I can feed everyone.
Oh,
the
That's
soup.
okay. That's yeah. With your
Bull,
cadaverous
like,
bag. Okay.
bull.
You do that. You pull out a skeleton. You get a dwarvish skeleton.
Is it creepy looking?
I mean, it's a dwarven skeleton.
I mean,
so
I could
I'll
have
let you
chose a
take that.
rotting corpse. Would
Yeah,
you
I'll let
rather
you take.
have a rotting
I'll let
corpse
you take
than
that as best
fucking
as you
food?
would.
Oh.
Yeah, rock and bones. And so you have a skeletal dwarf holding 2 bowls, unaffected by the heat of the food. You are kind of holding them at an angle so that it doesn't, spill, but also doesn't burn your hands. And you walk over to the party as they are currently inspecting this altar, and you guys see as he comes up with 4 full bowls of stew, 2 of which are being carried by a skeleton, a functionally movable and present skeleton that is walking by his side with these bowls.
Could an evil magic bring you stew?
What the fuck?
The intro is too funny tonight.
What did he say?
So he commented on your question, Gabe. He says, "What it takes to be a good person. Do the opposite of what y'all normally do." At the wisdom.
And my favorite was
We're
shortly,
learning.
was shortly after the comment about their them being tan and whatnot. It was a little bit after that, but he said, "Y'all are trying to make these guys meet their sleep paralysis demons."
Like they're gonna throw y'all overboard.
I don't know when that was, but that was a funny comment.
So, but yeah, that's what happens. He's got a skeleton walking with him. It's a dwarven skeleton.
That was when I was gonna
Can I
cast
take the
sleep
stew
on
that
the
he
sleeping
was
person.
Me too.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take
You
that one,
can reach for the bowl that he's carrying, and
I don't want to let that little dwarf.
so the little
So
the way you just said that.
when someone grabs one bowl from me and I only have the second one, I'm gonna say, "This is mine. Yours is over there,"
Yeah.
and I'm gonna kind of like pull it away.
You guys roll an initiative roll, and we'll see who's able to get the first bowl.
I'm gonna push you, old
No,
man.
because she went for it too.
Are you fucking
Initiative.
Yeah, Misery's
You're
going
gonna get
for it
fucked.
just as much
I
as
have
you.
35 speed. I sprint to the bowl.
It doesn't matter. I need to know who goes first.
When you're playing the Flash, dude.
What is
Fuck.
that? 17.
You're also 750 years old. You're not surprised you used to be old man.
What did you get?
You're gonna have to pick the
14.
bowl out of the skeleton's hands, dude.
Oh, you did not get.
So,
14,
Misery, you
buddy.
were quick to grab the bowl held by Nephis, and you go to grab the other bowl held by Nephis, and that's when he's like, "No, this one's mine. Yours is over there." And you see the skeletal dwarf with like the head kind of crooked a bit, holding both bowls out.
I don't take
The jaws slacked and kind of dangling a bit.
I'm gonna see this resistance, and I'm gonna grab the bowl out of his hand, kind of lean it over. He won't bite you, and then kind of give it to
Yo,
you.
look at the dwarf. Does it look like he would bite?
And then I'm gonna straighten.
Well, I mean, the jaw's broken, so no.
While he's eyeing up the dwarf, can I kind of
But
like
he wants to.
It's like a spider.
can I kind of like straighten his head just like while he's like
Yeah, you hear like
just
this,
yeah.
and then he kind of puts the bone back in, and he's like, "There."
I'm not really hungry.
He didn't help me cook. It's not about the magic being used, but it's about the one wielding it.
It's alright, boss. I'll take your food. I take both bowls.
I know on my jerky.
But you actually won't take the bowl? Even if I hand it to you from him?
It's weird.
Alright, I'll give Poltra both the bowls.
So you guys are eating. You're eating stew and contemplating. The best time to think is when you're filling your tummy full of food. So let's come up with some ideas here.
Anything you've all figured out while I was gone?
Like we can't push the altar. and
You could
all
try.
that. Wait, the altar is the center where the heart is.
No, really,
right?
we-
Correct. You could try it.
Okay, there's a
Nothing looks out of the ordinary with like the head of where the head would be, or
I mean, the whole place looks out of ordinary, but
Right.
nothing looks out of the
So
ordinary.
there's an elk like indent
Indent.
on top of the hill,
Correct.
surrounded by cairns.
Correct. Not Karens. Cairns. Cairns, not Karens.
What I said.
No, what you said was a bunch of stone objects going, I'd like to speak to the manager. What I'm saying is a lot of stone objects that are lying silent, which is the opposite of what a Karen does. Yeah, the heart of it is this altar.
Wait, so you're saying
So there's a ring of hill with stone cares on it. Then it divots, small valley, other ring of hill. But this ring of hill is what creates the indent of the elk. So where the elk indent is, think of that as like another valley, so the hill goes down. And then it raises up again, final hill, altar, heart of the elk.
is there anything on the altar?
Yes, a stone. Well, the altar is on the altar. The stone altar is the thing on this little hill. And you could try to move it. It is very heavy, so you could give it a shot.
I could roll it off.
Oh man.
you. Person to be able to move is him.
I feel like we should all go. We should separate. Someone should stand at each point, like one of the different hills. I mean, there's only 2 hills, right? Because there's the one with the elk indent and the one with the altar. But I feel like somehow they might.
No, isn't the altar in the elk indent?
Yes, the altar is
Yeah.
in the elk indent. There are the 4 menhirs which get used for telling the time and the passing of seasons.
Is
So
animate,
those little obelisks.
animate dead isn't a concentration spell, is it?
I don't believe it is. I think
I'm gonna-
summon
You just
undead
had the
is.
seasons
Yeah.
and shit.
Because I think animate undead is
Or maybe I
designed
don't
to
know.
create kind of like a small.
Yeah. So then I could cast both at the same time. Not that I'm going to.
Yeah,
but-
technically, I think.
Yeah, it's not a.
I'm lost. I just don't want it to be like that one. In the last campaign, you know, we were stuck in that maze for like 2 sessions.
I know. Someone commented, by the way, on that on the episode a bit before it, and was like, it was the very like first few episodes of the second half of that campaign, where you were in the Tomb of Daedarius with the empty library, where it was like everything's been taken,
Yeah.
and you guys had to just you had to leave something behind in order to leave, and you couldn't figure it out. And they were like, man, your party can't get puzzles. This is great. This is awesome. I was like, man, you don't even know. I commented on it. I was like, there's a whole 2 episodes way later. I was like, well, they're stuck in a hedge maze because of this. I was like, so this is what you like seeing? I was like, go to Jean Dolph's tower because it gets better.
That was rough. Dude.
Yeah, I was like, this is golden.
That was like
We
3
can't figure it
sets.
out.
Dude, for like 9 hours we tried figuring out how to
I
get out
had
of the
handouts and everything. I tried to make it so easy, and that was rough.
We were all
Um,
overthinking it.
We were in the maze for 9 hours.
I mean, you were in the maze for like 30 minutes, but it was 9 hours in real time.
Terrible. So you said there's something that mentions the seasons too?
Yeah, so the menhirs, the stone obelisks, use the sun to determine the passing of time and the changing of seasons.
Sundial?
Correct, kind
And
of.
those rotate?
They don't rotate; they stand still. The sun, as it orbits, changes where the shadows are casted.
Can I roll an investigation check to see anything that looks like it's maybe intentionally supposed to be moved or touched or activated or...
Sure.
Do I have to be proficient to roll too, or?
Not investigation on this one, no.
All right.
I got an unnatural 20.
A natural 20. The only thing that looks movable is the altar. The stone altar does not look as if it was put into the ground, but placed on the ground. Everything else looks as if it has been put into the ground.
Does it look intentionally movable, like maybe as like a barbarian ceremony where they all get together?
No, it doesn't look like it's easily moved, but it looks like it was just put onto the ground, Whereas the menhirs, for example, look like they were put into the
How
ground.
can we just push it open?
You could try.
Can I try?
Ask Pultra.
Yeah, make an athletics check.
Ultra.
Can I have my skeleton help him?
Yeah. Make an athletics check with your skeleton.
15.
Wait, what are you trying to do?
I got a
Does not budge.
15.
You trying to
plus.
push it by yourself?
Mm-hmm.
Probably nothing
No,
big.
there's
I don't
no
know.
skeleton.
Okay, with the two of you pushing at a 15, it does not budge.
How
Pultra,
about
help
me,
them.
him,
Please.
the skeleton,
I hope you know I'm a cleric.
the two
My
of
job is to
them, me
kill
and the skeleton.
undead. So I feel super uncomfortable that there's an undead one just walking around.
No, he's helping you push the tomb.
Yeah.
Or the
That's
altar.
worse.
He's helping you push the altar.
Looks at you.
He's
weird.
So, like, as you go to push it and you face, like, this way, he goes and faces you and it's like... and you're like... Oh...
Alright,
Would you
we'll
rather-
try this. Can I pull out?
Okay, how many people want to push this altar?
Can
I'm
I-
not pushing the
well, I
altar,
wanna-
but my skeleton will.
Okay,
Can I
so
pull
one...
Out, can I pull out Frost Cleaver and enlarge, and then try and use Frost Cleaver as leverage underneath it? Bless you.
Bless you.
Do I get any
Do it
bonuses out
again.
of that?
I'm just kidding. I don't know because this is a massive stone slab. It's not something that can easily just be leveraged.
Oh, was that like one of the slabs that, like that type of thing?
Well, seeing as it's on a grassy hill, no.
Fine.
If the
I
leverage
cast
doesn't give me a
summon
bonus,
greater
that's
demon.
I can't reason a way to use it for leverage.
That's
So I have 1, 2, 3 people pushing.
Wait, only 3?
Yeah.
One a dwarf.
Are you pushing 2?
Well, one's a skeleton, so I have like 2.5. It's 2.5 men.
You stop.
No, give me a bonus for enlarge, dude. I'm
What a
pushing.
show.
Right? So that's 4.
So you're pushing 2?
Yeah.
And I'm
So I have
enlarged.
4 people pushing. I need the 4 of you to make athletics checks. So you need to make another one with your skeleton.
My athletics. Oh, okay. Oh god, athletics? Oh god.
Yes, correct. Athletics.
Nice.
So what did the skeleton roll?
Not one.
Not 1. The skeleton's arms break off the sockets, and the dwarf slams into the...
His jaw breaks.
Yeah, it slams into the stone tablet. The jaw breaks and falls off to the side, and the arms are completely broken off of it.
I'm gonna quickly mend his bones back together.
Okay.
10.
10?
4.
4.
12.
Yikes, guys.
It doesn't
Oh,
budge.
Should we try again? Like 1, 2, 1.
Yeah, you can try one more
I'm
time.
gonna
You wanna try?
Okay.
I'll help
Wait,
this time.
is-
Okay, so we have 5 people.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
so let's get 5
Well, we
athletics
gotta make
checks.
sure you breathe.
Holy Papa Hardy, dude.
The skeleton. Oh,
Oh man.
the skeleton rolled a nat 20.
Damn, I
Nice.
didn't do any better, dude.
That actually
Maybe
counts for
worse.
2 successes.
A 9.
Oh, you're gonna really
Copy.
hate me.
Don't give me a hernia, please. Not again.
I got a 10.
I never gave you one of the
Yeah,
first
it's not for those.
Not that you know.
You didn't read his full
7.
backstory.
Oh, 11.
11.
Dude, we're really, really bad.
Varys, you're on the furthest end, the rightmost end.
Oh,
And
no.
you start to push at it, and you can see he's at the back and he's mending this dwarven skeleton, and kind of sends the skeleton back up, and it's right next to you. So you guys are on the furthest end, and as you start to push against it, you get like all grossed out and kind of disgusted as the dwarf comes next to you, and then starts to push. Your side begins to shift a smidge after he starts pushing on it, and it really sets you off in terms of discomfort that he came here and has now kind of slightly pushed it. You've only succeeded in shifting the slab like
Jesus Christ, dude.
not even like an inch, yeah. But you now know that it is movable.
You should help us.
He
I
is,
did just help you.
but you guys are rolling terribly. So
Can I trip the
I need one more group check, and this is going to dictate how long this takes.
Gosh.
I know you don't like it, but what's
And
better
that
than
20 counts for 2 successes, by the way.
what's better than killing the enemy?
No, it's fine.
Getting them on your side.
It has to be athletics too.
You just quoted the fucking lady that I hate. I want to attempt to trip the dwarf while I'm pushing.
Okay.
Fuck.
Make a sleight of hand roll. I guess a sleight of bone roll. Bone. No, I'm not gonna say it that way.
Blow his
Nope.
nose out.
No, I'm not gonna say it the way I almost just said it. I'll have to timestamp myself.
I don't like you adding all these numbers.
11.
Okay.
Do I have to roll?
You are not capable of tripping up the skeleton.
It
Don't.
trips you.
What if I like stomp his fucking?
God.
It's a skeleton. It's not going to feel anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like it'll break his bone.
I'll mend
Oh
that.
yeah, because you've been rolling so strong lately. Yeah, you're a titan of strength. You can give it a shot. You can try. I won't stop you.
He's brittle as shit.
Well,
Watch
So
him
are
pop a
you.
20, dude. Watch him pop a 20.
His jaw just unpopped.
And you.
yeah, I'm sure yours would too.
Mine doesn't. Do
me fix my dentures.
Before I see him preemptively try and fuck with my skeleton again, I say,
that. No,
I tell him, you hurt the skeleton and your bones will be turned into the
What are
same
you
thing
talking
when you
about?
pass, old man.
I don't know what you're talking
Okay, what's the athletic checks?
14.
14.
My skeleton rolled a 14,
about.
14.
and then I rolled a 19.
19. 18.
Minus 1.
This is the kick the dwarf or the push the rock?
The push the rock.
Does my skeleton get any bonus
Push
to
the rock.
I
strength?
get
No.
an 8 for the dwarf.
I don't think so. You'd have
That's
to check
fair. I mean, I don't
What is
think so
that?
either.
Yeah,
I got a 16 for the rock.
Yeah,
Dude.
let's go.
16?
Dude. That one.
What?
What the hell?
Nick, use it. Can I give Nick my inspiration?
I won't use it, dude. I'm gonna save it.
Dude, we need to fucking open this thing.
It
Don't
is
do
It
that.
inspiration.
might take a little bit
So-
longer.
We ain't going nowhere.
As
You're
you-
bowling while
As
we're pushing.
at yeah, as you go. So he actually. So that's
The
no.
our
That makes sense.
strongest
So
fucking guy.
because you shifted just a corner of it, Polter gets this beautiful idea that if he were to grab the other side and move it in the same direction, that you could shift the altar and then slide it down the hill. And so he's pulling at it at just a very uncomfortable angle, and it's not helping at all. The process of moving this altar is going to take you guys an hour of concerted effort,
Jeez. No, don't
which
you do
leaves
it. Don't you do
all of you riddled with sweat from head to toe when you're done.
God,
Do we
That's
face a
fine.
point of
Scary.
exhaustion?
it. No.
You do. All of you do face a point of
Why did you
exhaustion.
say that?
I was gonna say it
tell us.
anyways.
Oh, what
I'm just glad you called it out.
No, dude,
Why
I
did you
was
get those
waiting
other
for it,
fucking...
The only person who doesn't get a point of exhaustion is
Is-
Poltra.
dude. Nice.
Because he was
dude.
working in
Fuck
he
yeah.
wasn't really working to help.
Metagaming.
Hey, my skeleton doesn't.
And you guys
How
all
do you get
visibly
that one and win? What the fuck?
No.
Who the fuck made this game?
He didn't win.
What?
He didn't win because you guys all see that he's visibly not as exhausted like you guys. He's not dripping with sweat, and you guys are pissed the entire time. Your frustration of like, Poltra, you are not helping. He's like, I'm helping. I'm totally helping. After an hour of getting it done, you guys are like, you didn't do anything.
No,
So did he really win? You're all pissed at him.
I'm gonna look at Poltra and go, this pile of bones worked harder than you.
no, I'm just the pinnacle of physical performance.
It's sweating.
Yeah,
bones.
pinnacle of stupidity.
I could do that all day.
The
and not
skeleton,
sweat.
the skeleton, when you guys are done moving it, kind of does one of those things where he puts his hands kind of on his hips. It's like, but there's no sweat. He just does it, and then he kind of looks over. He looks over to you, Varys, and he goes,
Stick it bone.
I'm gonna give the skeleton a gold coin and say thank you for your work.
Dude, can he put it in his mouth and let it rattle?
"No." He takes the coin and kind of
like that machine that you watch.
no, he kind of like fiddles it through his finger.
What the fuck?
I
Oh.
want to see him drink
Does the
something.
anime dead? It doesn't come
He's
with a
playing
weapon,
it,
does
dude.
it?
No.
Can I give him a dagger?
Yeah, give him a
Whoa,
dagger.
whoa, don't give him a skeleton.
Yeah,
I
give him a
control
dagger.
him.
Dagger and a coin.
Yeah, so that's the problem.
He's got a dagger and a coin.
Oh no. Mend.
There is evidence as you have moved to the burial
No.
mound's altar. There is evidence that the grass had been disturbed heavily prior to the altar being placed on top of it, and in fact, it looks like loose dirt. Something had been buried underneath this altar.
I start digging.
I tell my
Get-
fucking
get to
skeleton to
digging.
dig.
Yep.
Yeah.
You guys
I
dig
do it
and
all day.
dig for about 5 minutes.
All day long.
I don't dig.
I dig
And
really
I'm not
slow.
digging either. You're gonna do all.
In-
My skeleton dig.
underneath the altar, so underneath
Myself.
underneath this specific altar, what you find is what appears to be. Why did I just lose where the specific item was? It appears to be a spear tip. Okay.
Oh.
A spear tip. The metal that this spear tip is made out of is similar, if you remember, to the metal that was engraved on the magical archway in the Eye of the Allfather, Mithril. The spear tip is about 5 feet long, and you imagine it's heavy.
Well, this is definitely a
average.
giant-sized spear tip.
Does it have any markings on it? Any writing?
It has a lot of writing on it.
Is that
Yo,
And because you
let me
speak
read
giant,
that, dude.
you actually know what the writing would say. So it is written in the language of giants, and the writings that are on this spear
As I
tip.
read it out loud.
Okay, you read it out loud. The writings on the spear tip help point you in the direction that you guys are going to need to go. So,
thank God. Thank God you can read it.
what the writing specifically express is that the castle,
The
so
castle?
Count Sansuri's
Good little,
council or castle.
Set over there?
Countess.
Yeah, so Countess Sansuri's castle, which is known as Lin Armal. So that's what you were told to look for. So the words are descriptive of kind of like a warrior in defense. So the defense of Lin Armal will be, lived evermore. But it indicates that the castle itself, when it is not in movement and at a moment where the cloud giants can rest, rests directly above. Rests directly above the center of the lake in the Evermoors, which is where you guys are currently. You're in the Evermoors, but you're not the lake. So you would just need to go to the lake and find the
But
castle.
we have to go to White Sand first.
You don't have to.
We should finish a quest and then start another.
No, it's the same
Yeah,
quest.
yeah,
we
but-
just
Well,
got
it's like
lucky.
part-
But it's like not going the other way. You're
Well,
missing out.
Dude, we're saving
You could,
the world.
but so the description that was given to you is that you had to go to Flint Rock or the White Sand.
We picked.
The goal was to find something that would help lead you to Countess
So then we don't have
Sansuri,
to go.
which you have found. You found
Yeah.
a way to Countess
I think it's
Sansuri.
the Gallagher horn. Wait, what's the conch? Is that the horn that they
The
blow?
conch is you are looking for a conch that will lead you to King Hecaton's court,
Oh.
and it's supposed to be in Lin Armal,
What
which
is-
you now know the location
What
of.
is a conch though?
Conch is like a seashell.
Yeah, you blow in it, it makes noise, right?
Right.
Yeah, it's like the Gallagher horn, dude. That's what signals Ragnarok. I'm pretty sure.
Well, this isn't a horn, but
Well, yeah.
I like to think the SpongeBob episode just without the string and the magical voice box.
And, I've never seen SpongeBob.
Will I ever get married?
Nick never
No.
had childhood.
No, I watched Disney, dude.
So with this information, you guys could very well head to Lin
How
Armal.
heavy is the spear though? The spear tip.
It's about 5 feet long, about 75 pounds.
I'm gonna strap it to my back.
Thank you.
I'm gonna strap
It's
it
a
to my back.
giant.
Yo, does
spear
it like
tip.
work as a shield if I have it strapped to my back?
You can't.
Like, if I turn
hold-
around-
can
Wait,
you hold
can he-
75 pounds on one arm?
Oh, easily.
This guy, and like swing it around as a shield.
No, I don't want to use.
No,
I'm saying if I
throw
strap
it
it to my back
harpoon.
and I turn around and someone attacks my
I,
back.
I would say that the additional weight would encumber you.
Wait, can I like?
Yeah, I
snap
know,
and-
but
Can
I'm
we
just-
get more of those? The
Okay, a better example would be like if I'm
The
running
leather
away
man?
and someone has
I
a
don't
bow
know
and
what
arrow.
they're
Like,
called.
Right?
I
No,
wanna
I
strap
get
it
what
to
you're
my
saying.
back.
The answer would be yes, but it would encumber you,
That's
so it'd
fine.
make your movement.
No, we have to
Even if
keep
you
more
enlarge
than
it
this.
some
What's
more?
like half movement?
How far is the lake?
I don't.
So you would get advantage and disadvantage, right?
Well, you wouldn't get advantage on anything.
So you
Just
just-
any. It would be. I would argue that
It's
anything that attempts to attack you from directly behind would add probably half cover to it, which would increase your armor class by +2,
Let's go.
and you would.
But they have advantage because you're slow as shit.
Huh? Is that
No.
a thing? No.
I would probably reduce your movement speed to 10 feet.
Oh, that's less
Jesus.
than half, dude.
Yeah.
You'll never get a higher AC
No,
than
just
a
have
Horus.
the people from the ship carry it and put it on the ship.
You walk around with 75 pounds strapped to your back. You let me know how that feels.
Dude, he's a. Alright.
Katray served our
I'll
country.
take it back to the
He
ship,
knows
at
what
least.
that's like.
I just want to take it back to
How
the ship.
far is the lake from here?
It's
Oh,
not
it's
far.
you could get there.
You get
Just
canceled.
hop on the
for-
ship. You can get
for
there quick.
false
Oh, I mean,
valor.
Probably
False
about an hour,
valor.
hour and a half.
Let
But
me
it wasn't
take-
even
I wanna
because
take
you
it
were
back
just
to
'cause I
the-
said
the
that.
people on the ship. And I want to tell them to take it to their dragon leader
Joey's
as a
fucking
gift
false claim.
from us for his kindness.
Okay.
It's a token appreciation.
They
for
very
our
well
troops.
could do that.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. So you
Because
see
we won't need it
Delphine.
after,
You
right?
see the guy. It takes off. Like it takes pretty much. It takes all the men to bring the thing on board.
Weak.
None
Did you say it was
of
75
the ladies on deck are even willing to touch this thing.
Jeez.
Freshman backpack.
And that gives you a bit of relief. That gives you a bit of relief because you guys are. I'm sorry, your
Wait,
strength
we
is
do
low,
take
so
this
you're not.
thing?
Yeah, because he wants to have them offer it to Clouth as a thanks
Yeah.
for giving them the airship.
Cloud is doing this not out of the.
Yeah, but if we get him on
Cloud is
on
doing
our
this
good
because
side,
this
though,
is
I mean,
benefits
it's a
him.
potential ally, too.
We'll see what happens. You never know. You never know.
If the cards work in your favor. After getting everything on board, Delphine kind of looks. So did we? I'm assuming we got what we needed with this.
Sure.
Where are we heading to now? The White Sands.
Lynn Harmall in Lake Evermore's. Supposed to be there.
Nice one. The lake here in the Evermoors. That is northeast of us, right? You can see Niceroth. It's like, yeah, northeast. I would argue hour and a half trip from here. We could get there quite quickly. But we're looking for the center of it, for a giant floating castle. Well, that may change the plans up a bit, but we should still get there within an hour and a half. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out.
Nice guy, nice Ross.
It's like, all right.
By the way, I brought my skeleton on the ship.
They will refuse that skeleton. They'll be like, that is not coming up here. That would curse us. We would. Omens, no. No, that has to stay.
You worship a corrupt dragon.
I don't worship a dragon. I serve a dragon. And what I'm not allowing is an undead spirit aboard my ship to curse my ship to death.
Let's just talk to the Protanther again.
No, they're too
That just
busy.
can't happen.
They're too busy.
Well,
But if we do it this way, do you want
They're
safe
worried about the
travels?
stuff outside of our plane of existence.
How are we
I
able
don't
to
believe
contact
in
them
your
if we were
conspiracies.
Oh, it's not a conspiracy. Just do you believe in safe? Do you want safe travels? Yes or no?
Are you gonna yell at another kid?
You must pay back for the energy expended.
I don't have to pay back for anything. I'm paying you back in safe travels. And if you want safe travels, then my crew have to be content. And if that team comes on board, you're putting the whole crew on nerve. So it pays dividends in the long run for not throwing my crew off the deep end of having to worry about this stumpy little skeletal thing walking around as if it owns the place.
Then I'll dress him so no one can tell.
Well, yeah, you can dress him back in the ground where he belongs and let the dead spirit lie.
Yeah, I'll put him back in the ground, and then I shove his bones back into my little bag. But like, so not in front of her.
For the rest of the trip, we will leave this as an unspoken element because everyone will have watched this happen. For the remainder of your time with this airship, everyone will stay the hell away from you. Like wide berth. If there's ever like we have to walk around each other, like you just shoved a dwarven skeleton into a bag, and it's a bag that is. It looks like it's made out of skin and has a face on it, and you just shoved it in there. Like, forgive me, but everyone's gonna be like, "Yo, this dude is like not okay."
Weird.
But also, a benefit of it is everyone treats you very nicely. They don't seek.
I'm like this.
They don't seek. No. Yeah. They do not seek to irritate you. Give yourself a point of inspiration for catching yourself. They treat you well. They don't seek to irritate you. They do not want to risk your wrath.
That was close.
Yeah, that was a close call. That was a close call. Nice work. Good job. I'm proud of you. I'm so happy. We did it, guys. We did it.
I was like, wait, that's really bad.
Yeah,
I didn't say that.
yeah, that's good. That was good. All right. So, with that, the airship goes ahead and departs and heads for the mighty castle of Lynn Armal. And in the process of you guys flying over to Lynn Armal, you guys do level up to level 8.
No!
So, you guys are going to be able to level up. There is an ability score improvement or a feat that you'll be able to take at this present level. I do have to let you know there is roughly
No.
3 levels left for you.
Dude,
to
let us get to
We are-
15.
No,
bro.
that
Let us get to 15.
that won't happen
dog.
this campaign.
Dude, come on. Dude.
That will happen
Let me
next
get-
campaign.
Let us get
It
to
won't
15,
happen this campaign.
And then you can try.
Yeah, but it
boss
won't happen
fight.
this campaign. It'll happen next campaign. Campaign 3 it'll happen. It just won't happen in this campaign.
But
You see
what-
kind of the difference?
Alright, we get to 15 in this
What did
one.
you say?
Like we get to the max level, then
What?
you power us, and then you can double the boss fight. 2
No,
bosses.
so like what I'm saying is like it won't happen this campaign.
No, but you. But
They're always
Right, like I could, but it
You
won't.
could.
No, well, you're right. I very well could, but
could.
not happening. Okay, so
This is super.
next is the Castle of the Cloud Giants. Gotta love when
Is
the
this the same castle from?
No, this is not the
last
same
campaign, or
castle.
different- They
It's
just
not the
have
same
a
castle.
bunch of different floating castles.
well, yes,
Why do humans not have that technology yet? There's no way.
because it's not technological. It's magical. You're welcome.
That is
Giant
technology in D&D.
No.
What do you mean?
There is technology in D&D.
It's magic.
Artificer.
His entire weapery is technology.
Yeah, but it's
Um,
magic.
That's gunpowder and wood.
I don't understand. It's
And
magic.
metal. It's made of dwarven
There's no
metal.
electricity.
And you know what?
We
powers
don't
it?
call
You need
911.
electricity for a gun? Is that
It could be
Um,
technology.
So,
an electric gun?
as you guys are flying towards the castle, you're gonna have plenty of time to rest. So we're not worrying about any turns. I'll allow you to go into everything with a full rest. So even though you don't technically have the time, I'm just gonna
There's
grant
actually
you
a
that
picture of
benefit
Fallout that you can
before you head into this
with,
castle.
A water gun.
One of the things I do want to mention is that due to the size of the airship, as you guys are approaching this castle is concealing its presence in the sky, kind of surrounded by cloud. Now, because of that, it grants you a little bit more of an advantage of approaching the castle without being seen.
They're gonna shoot us.
However, as you guys approach the castle, there's only going to be a few areas of this castle that can accommodate the vessel and bear its weight. Because of the clouds, we're not going to deal with the like you guys kind of getting caught out in the open. So I'm going to let you guys choose where this lands, and then we will begin next session upon landing. Okay. So the 4 options are: you can land this airship in the courtyard of the aft battery. So the courtyard. You can do the cloud. You can do the cloud by the stairs that lead up to it. You can do a cloud that leads up to the stairs to a gatehouse. You can land at the gatehouse's arrival platform, or any of the tower rooftop lawns. There are 3 in total. You can land on rooftop lawn 1, 2, or 3.
Could I cast Featherfall on all of us?
The main gate.
You would need to.
And have
The
us-
courtyard?
The main gate.
The arrival?
Yeah, the arrival.
What if we jumped off the ship instead with
I have
Featherfall?
pixie dust, dude. Don't worry.
I mean, you guys don't need to worry about falling. You guys can land on the on.
Can we get cars with parachutes?
We should land. We should
But you
land
gotta
in the main center.
No,
I
like-
want to land in the main entrance.
So
Main
the-
entrance courtyard.
That's the
Well,
courtyard.
we're not here for hostile reasons, right?
Yeah,
Reasons,
exactly.
right?
Exactly. We should
So,
just land at the front gate where the visitor pad is.
Sure, I'm okay with that.
Because if not, then we would pull out the
Bless
good
you,
old,
you
the
hit
old,
your
good old,
head.
the good old swordsman.
That dude.
Right dead in
When
the
I was a
center.
child.
Okay.
Yeah.
No wonder.
All right.
What if we don't have cars with parachutes and drove off?
So, to make myself as clear as possible, you guys are wishing
Then
to
they
land
fall
outside the gatehouse.
What? That's
So, to help you understand the way that Lidar looks, this is the castle.
Yeah.
This is that gatehouse. So the
Yeah.
cloud that leads up to it is right here. You could do any of these 3 rooftop
No.
towers.
Mhm.
You can do this courtyard.
How many
Courtyard,
That's like in the
1,
back.
2, 3. Yep, that's the aft battery.
How
1,
many
2,
towers?
3. So
Just
1,
planets?
2, 3,
Where was the one?
4.
Where was the
4.
one right after the aft battery?
1,
What?
2,
No.
Huh?
3,
Crash into one.
4.
Cloud leading, or the cloud leading up to the.
Yeah,
gate?
so this is a cloud. This
Oh,
is a
shit.
part of the castle.
Yeah, yeah.
this
yeah.
cloud and this
Alright,
cloud.
we'll do that.
1,
the,
2,
the cloud
3,
leading
4.
up to the gatehouse, because that's
4?
that's a gatehouse right there. Like that's
Yes.
the entry house.
Correct.
Yeah, yeah, there, there. Whatever the least intimidating landing spot is.
What? No.
I guess we'll land on the cloud.
No, dude, we're not.
We want to come in.
You don't want to be intimidating as the hero, dude.
It's called the bluff.
What kind of what hero's intimidating, dude?
The bluff, dude.
Venom.
No,
Wolverine.
Venom's not a hero.
Correct.
And neither
Superman.
He's an anti-hero.
Wolverine.
Batman.
They're not intimidating, dude.
Wait,
Batman's not.
Batman's badass.
That's
bro.
his whole fucking thing.
He's intimidating if you're a bad guy.
You know what?
We're not bad
Oh,
guys.
wait, hold on there, buddy. He's only intimidating if you're a bad guy. Isn't that the point?
Yeah, but the problem is we're not Batman, dude. We're not Batman.
Okay.
The only person cool enough to rival
That's
Batman
Flash.
is Iron Man.
5.
And even then, dude, Iron
Okay.
Man- Iron
Well, we
Man's
will
the
get to Lynn Armal next session. This is where we'll go ahead and end it. So as you guys are landing, we will pick up at Lynn Armal,
Yo!
where we will continue to conclude our campaign. We have a few. We have 2 chapters past this. There's 3 chapters left. So you guys are getting close.
Lynn Empty Hall.
So, because yeah, it's for you guys. It's Lynn Armal, then King Hecaton's court, and then the final chapter. So that's it. So it's gonna be fun. We'll see how Lynn Armal goes. You guys are level 8, so we can level up before you guys leave, and we can call it good. So. With that being said, we'll go ahead and end it here. Thank you guys so much for another episode and for a great week. We'll see you guys next week.
Great to see everybody. Atro, have a
Hope
good
you guys have a
night.
great rest of your night.
Have a good night.
Have a good night.